There's just one place where you could drive a new Acura ZDX for only $239 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us number one.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
We're celebrating a new year with New Hood, the official #1 volume Toyota dealer. Save big on a 24 Corolla, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. We're bringing you deals that strike fast and hard at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
We are live Tuesday, 7 p. The place to be. The Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. He is the great Frankie Fresco. How we doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. No, what was it? How was I wearing? Like no suit or anything like that, like on Saturday. So I'm back to my CM Punk days.
Yeah, you're back to your wrestling wear here.
Yes, correct. Yes.
I like it. I like it. I like it. And we appreciate everybody that's watching us on the Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel or the Frankie Fresco YouTube channel. Also, if you're watching us on the Stanley Media House Facebook page, Twitch, X, we thank each and every one of you that are tuned in to hear what we've got to say and sound off in the crazy world that is pro wrestling. Well, as usual, we will get started with our talk of the one and the only, the WWE. Yes, sir. That's what we do here. That's what we do. All right. Were you able, because I know you've been busy.
Slam, bro. Crazy.
Were you able to get to see any of the Saturday night's main event?
I saw the whole Saturday night.
Oh, you did go. Okay. All right.
That's how dedicated I am to wrestling. I got home and I tuned in and I watched it. I also watched all of Monday Night Raw. I watched all of Collision. I've been tearing it up with wrestling. Anytime I have, It's for wrestling.
Yeah, it's cool. That is, man. So what is it? Just DJing and wrestling. That's it. That's all you do now.
And also my 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, you're 9 to 5. I'm sorry. I figured that was already like spoken for. My fault. I should have probably, in case they're watching here, yes, the 9 to 5 is still there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Well, I don't know if I should say unfortunately, but it pays the bills. So you got to do what you got to do. But I am busy. I'm slammed. I might have something special lined up on Sunday, and I will give you this, and I'll tell you this, Sean, and all you guys. If I post something on Sunday, if this actually happens, and I'm actually doing this event, please do not judge me. Okay, do not judge me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
How do you judge somebody that's making money like on something, bro?
No, you guys are gonna judge me big time on this if I end up doing this event.
Boy.
If I
No doubt, my dad already in on the chat. Don't forget, jump in on the chat. Let us know what you think. Hit us up anywhere. Go ahead, Frankie. Sorry, I thought you were done with the thought. I'm sorry.
No. You guys are gonna be mad. Like you guys are gonna be. You might call me a hypocrite. Even you, Sean. You will probably call me. You'll probably send me a message that same day.
This is all I'll ask. What are you doing?
Yes, that yeah, I'll be doing something if it looks like we're working on something, unfortunately,
That's
but
awesome,
it might not be unfortunately.
Man, you got no doubt.
You might be mad at me.
Listen,
You might be, and everybody, you, Steven, might be mad at me.
No doubt's got you going to Doral to work for Trump. Stephen Gonzalez got you going to WQAM.
I am not going to work for Trump. I can't do it. If I was, then if the money is right, I'll do it.
Getting paid, you go do it, bro.
If the money is right, yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying.
As long as you're not hurting people or something like, you know what I'm saying, like that, then man, you got to make your money.
I mean,
you're in a networking business. You never know which opportunity will be the big opportunity. You gotta take them, man.
Yeah, well, if you guys follow me on Instagram and if you guys watch my stories, I'm very grateful. I'm one of the official DJs for the Miami Sharks. So I was doing their event on Saturday, which was freaking crazy. It was fun. So a lot of you guys, if you guys don't follow the Miami Sharks, do me a favor, go on social media, check them out. They're a great rugby team. They're trying to come up. They play at on the field next to Chase Stadium. I'll be DJing a lot of their games. Me and my friend Jamie are both doing a lot of their games. So we're gonna be working a lot with them. And the cool thing about it, Sean, is that since they're up and coming in South Florida, you actually get to bond really, really close to them. So the whole team
get that commitment from the community.
Yeah, I know all the players. I know the coach. I know. So look it up. It's called Miami Sharks. If you go on my profile on Instagram, you'll see official DJ Miami Sharks on my profile. You could just click on them and just hit them a follow. And just check them out, man. And I'll tell you this: I've never been a rugby fan, but ever since I started working with them last year, and then obviously I've picked up more this year, I started tuning into rugby, man. And if you go to one of these rugby games, I will tell you right now, those guys hit each other like there's no tomorrow.
There's no Tuas out there.
It's very, very bad. There's like no JD McDonough out there. I'm telling you right now, no JD McDonough.
Now that dude, he finished his thing. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Stephen Gonzalez, it's called the Miami Sharks. They're a rugby team, and Frankie is a co-DJ. How's that wording? Right? What's the wording?
I'm their official DJ.
Yeah.
But my friend also DJ, so we're both the official DJs for them. So we both work. He
does not play for them, and that isn't the news on why we would hate.
No,
him.
that's not the news. That's not the news. Listen to what Sean was saying.
Anybody that knows Frankie and puts the two and two together
the hypocrisy. You're gonna be like, Frank is such a hypocrite.
will understand why we are doing this because Frankie is.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? I'm really starting to judge you right now.
It's really bad, man.
This red
Because
light thing on. I look like a fry in a frying pan. Or fry in the little vector oven they used to have. Those little fry guys.
I thought you went to the beach or something. I thought you got like a little tan or something.
Yeah. No, man. I'm fat. I don't go to the beach. They'll push me back in.
No doubt. I don't know what you are talking about, but stay tuned. It might happen.
No doubt you may be onto it.
Yeah, it would be really, really crazy if something like that would happen, right? Man. But hey, money talks, man. Okay, I'm a businessman. I have to. Sometimes money comes first, then you know who you cheer for. You know, at least I will tell you this. I'm pretty sure if I get that gig, which is a very good shot, you would not catch me wearing any attire. Okay, I will be wearing a plain white shirt. That's just me, unless they require me to wear something. If they require me to
Send me the
wear
information
something,
as you can. I'd like to get in touch with them and see if they can require that.
God, Jesus.
Just so I can get a picture.
If they tell me you
Of
gotta
you?
wear something, I'm gonna be so mad. But I'm not. I know what I'm gonna do. I will not post pictures of myself. I'll just post pictures of the
Right,
place I am at,
listen, the
photos
$1 million
of
man
my
who's on
DJing
Saturday Night
equipment.
Main
Everything.
Event, $1 Million Man who's on Saturday Night Main Event says it best. Everybody's got a price.
Yeah, man. I never thought I would agree with you on that one. But yes, there is. Yes, unfortunately, yes. Oh my God, Steven.
Let's see. Sneak Attack 305, welcome in. Sean Frankie, guys, what do you think? Punk favor for the wise man has agree. It has to do with would Roman get involved. We're going to discuss a little bit of that here.
Let's talk.
Let's go and dive into the Cody and Punk segment that kind of ended the Raw on Netflix last night. And, you know, I do the Raw recap, so I gave a little bit of mine, but I don't go in deep on a lot of things because I do know that I got this show on Tuesday nights, which we appreciate all of you tuning in.
Yes.
With you, Frankie, what did you think of, you know, again, not necessarily getting into all the weeds and everything. Overall, what did you think of that segment? Like, what was your thought? Like, okay, let's see where it goes. Or like, what did you think when you heard Punk music hit as Cody was out there talking?
Okay, so first and foremost, let me go back just a little bit, right?
As you wear the CM Punk shirt too, by the way.
Yes, of course. I had to represent CM Punk tonight. So just going back a little bit, when Sammy was fighting against, who was he fighting against?
Drew again. He's 0-11 against Drew.
Drew McIntyre, correct. The crowd was yelling for CM Punk, and you could notice that. So when Cody runs out, I don't know if you noticed this, but he didn't get a big pop. He actually, it was kind of like, yo, it's just him. And the fans, I don't know if it's that the fans weren't feeling him or maybe.
You have to remember one thing too, though. I think that has to do with what happened before the Sammy Drew match, which was the WWE 2K25 segment with Paul Heyman, where Paul Heyman said, "Tell your boy that I'm coming. I'm going to beat him down. I'm going to beat him lifeless and throw him over the top rope." And then Paul Heyman, of course, goes, "Fine, I'll relay that to my tribal chief." And Drew McIntyre stops Heyman and says, "No, CM Punk."
Yeah.
You know, so I think that was a little bit more of why everybody, I think, thought, okay, we've seen CM Punk. We know he's here because they did the backstage segment. I think they were thinking that was who was going to kind of make that save.
All right. So that was the first thing. Then the second thing that I noticed on Netflix was they did all of it. They did everything they had to do. And then obviously Sammy does his finishing move on Cody. And then they go on this commercial break. And I thought they were going to just end the show because that is typically what they do in WWE. But then they come back. And that's when you randomly see Cody Rhodes now talking to the crowd. I felt like, bro, they were like, it felt very sloppy, in my opinion. I didn't like that, bro. I didn't like that. I thought they should have ended the show there, and that's it. If they did it, if they were supposed to sell us Cody and CM Punk, they should have done it earlier in the show. That's just my opinion. But obviously, Cody's talking. Out comes CM Punk. The crowd, he got a pop.
Yeah.
And then here we go again. They start talking, and the crowd is dead, bro. Like, the crowd is not feeling them whatsoever. And I saw your recap show, and you mentioned, hey, maybe WWE was trying to show to the fans, hey, maybe this is going to be WrestleMania's main event. And they wanted to see how the fans were going to take it. Well, I'm going to tell you something, man. If that's what the way the fans reacted, I don't think WWE has CM Punk winning WrestleMania.
But see, here's the problem where I think, and again, I believe that was a feeler, but I don't know if it was a feeler for the people in the crowd. It was more for, let's post it on social media. Let's see where it goes. Because here's the problem. It was a pro CM Punk crowd, and it was in Cody's hometown.
But why was it a pro CM Punk crowd if they were in Cody's hometown?
Because they loved CM Punk and they wanted to see CM Punk. If anything, what they should have probably done is and again, this is like, I feel like they showed CM Punk the first time to hopefully get the crowd, the pop from the crowd, and then not necessarily be the first time they see him and get that response, because that response was like, oh, he is coming to the ring. Yes. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the response you got. And again, I think it was more the crowd trying to figure out, okay, what's
going on here?
what are we doing? Who should we cheer for? Who do we, because each of them both kind of went their ways. I mean, CM Punk said, I told my dad I'd take care of you. And then, as your friend, he goes, I know how hard it is to carry the title. You look like you're getting dragged down. The good news is somebody's going to win Royal Rumble and then go on to WrestleMania and beat you. Cody kind of giggles, laughs, said, okay, then, so that's the good news? What's the bad news? And he said, that somebody's me.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm your friend. I'm not going to stab you in the back. I'm going to stab you in the front. Then he goes to leave. He stops him and he says, look, the roles have changed. I've always been the one chasing you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no longer chasing you.
That's a lie.
You're chasing me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was a very, very good little moment as far as that goes to see, again, let's gauge where we're at here. Because, again, this is the first time where I go into Royal Rumble and I'm looking at Royal Rumble going, what are they doing at WrestleMania?
They have a lot of options.
Well, and that's not a bad thing.
No.
But usually you would know, okay, the Bloodline's going to be involved here. But the Bloodline's in such disarray. I don't know what the hell's going on with that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, where does Roman fit into this? If he doesn't win the Rumble, I mean, we know Roman's going to get a match at WrestleMania. I mean, but again, if The Rock isn't there, where does Roman fit into all this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you want my opinion?
All of this going down, and it's like, where is it going?
This is what I'm thinking is going to happen. I have the feeling after everything's said and done, Roman wins Royal Rumble. And then that favor that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk, he gets him into the main event as well. And then it'll be a fatal three-way between all three of them for the WWE Championship belt, in my opinion. I think that's where they're going to go.
You know
I would love to see that.
What'll be interesting to see if they do, if they play it all the way out to where, because they've been saying so much about this favor lately. Yeah. Like it was mentioned 3 times in the broadcast yesterday on Netflix. All right. So then the way I look at it is, what if Roman wins it, as you're saying here, okay? They go to WrestleMania. You kind of don't hear anything. And then all of a sudden, the match is about to start. They've done the introductions. It's Roman versus Cody. Here we go, night 2, WrestleMania. As soon as they get ready to go lock up, they start circling. CM Punk's music hits.
Amazing. I like it.
And it not even, don't even tease the whole thing and then be like, Roman, have Roman kind of look down at Heyman like, what the hell? And he's like, I had to. This was the favor. It's now a triple threat. I would just rather it kind of play out that, but at the same time, it's like they've made this such a detail that they don't want to drop that I don't know that they can allow it to go that, like, I feel like something's going to happen in between that, between Roman and CM Punk, if that's the case, to where I think it would be better to do it as like a surprise.
I mean, the only other thing I could think of is that Roman wins Royal Rumble, and then you have Roman versus Cody at WrestleMania, and then Cody loses the belt. He loses the belt. And now that Cody loses the belt, Roman is the champion, and on day 2, you have Roman versus CM Punk because Paul Heyman tells Roman, hey, man, I owe him a favor, and the favor is that he was going to face you on night 2 of WrestleMania. So now you have a main event with Roman fighting both nights, which would have a hell of a draw, and you would just have, obviously, CM Punk on the second night versus Roman. I think that could be something that they could try to do as well. I just feel it has to involve something with Roman because they, like you said, they keep mentioning the favor. So the only other thing I could think of is Roman's at the Royal Rumble and he gives up his winning the Royal Rumble to CM Punk and says, okay, the wise man said, hey, I gotta give you the victory. But I just don't feel Roman is gonna go that far. So that's why
I can't feel that Paul Heyman would do it like that. Like, Roman, you have to eliminate yourself because I told CM Punk he's gonna win. Like, I just like it. I just can't go down like that. That's why I think, it's gonna be interesting too to see how the Royal Rumble plays into this, because we always know, usually after Royal Rumble, somebody will eliminate somebody or something will happen to where it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's the route they're gonna go to get to that, or that's going to that, or what I'm saying, like. So it's interesting because it's the first time in a while where it's not so. Like last year, I didn't know which way they were going to go with the main event because you had CM Punk, you had Cody, but you kind of knew where it was heading as far as, the rest of a lot of the card. This WrestleMania, I mean, when you look at the women's division and you look at the men's and everything going on, I couldn't tell you a match I think that might make it to WrestleMania right now.
For the men or the women or both?
Both.
For the women, I feel that they're gonna involve some way somehow Charlotte Flair
we can sit here and say that Lynch coming back. I get it, and all the rumors of Tiffany against Charlotte. But if you go into Royal Rumble today or on Saturday, you can't say that Charlotte's going to be at WrestleMania in the main event.
No, but you could still assume that though, because they've been trying to sell it.
I mean, it's just like we're doing here. I mean, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, one of them is going to probably be in the main event.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just going to be, it's a cool little time to where there's just a lot of shit that could happen, man.
Now, let me ask you this, because I already mentioned it to you already once. Do you feel Cody at WrestleMania, because obviously I don't think he's going to lose to Kevin Owens, but do you feel that maybe it's time that the belt changes hand from Cody at WrestleMania?
See, that's the thing that's the interesting part here. Because the only reason I say no is on the marketing side. Cody's everywhere. Cody does SmackDown. Cody does Raw. Cody does, he's everywhere.
Wait, hold on a second. Is he everywhere because he is the champion? Or is he everywhere because of his name, Cody?
He's everywhere because of the Cody, but the championship has gone to both. That's what I thought. But I thought Gunther goes to SmackDown and stays there.
Let me ask you this:
so if you
give CM Punk the belt, you don't think CM Punk would be in every show? Do the same thing with Roman, except Roman takes breaks. But if he didn't take any breaks, he wouldn't get every show.
CM Punk is doing what Cody does. Cody's doing media. Cody's doing signings. Cody's like everywhere.
Cody is putting a lot of work, bro.
A lot of work.
That's why CM Punk mentioned that to him, and you know what? And one thing I did like about
And to be
yesterday,
honest, I think Cody did a great acting job on there.
that's what I was gonna say. I like the
Act like
fact,
he's so worn down. Like,
yes, that I like that he looked tired. He looked like me on Saturday. He
yeah.
was like, "Yo, I'm worn down, dude. This
I mean,
is
that's what a lot of people like. There was people that were tweeting live from the show, and they're like, "Is Cody coming across as so soft sounding?" After the attack, when he was laying, he's like, I just look up in the ring and I see the belts hanging. It didn't even sound like Cody until at the end when he got fired with CM Punk. Like, really, it just sounded like he was beat down.
Now, quick question here, because Sneak Attack says Cody's the era's John Cena. There was one point in time when the fans actually turned on John Cena. They didn't like
They
John
always
Cena.
did. They did.
So then,
The adult fans always turned on Cena. That's why it was, they chant for Cena and then Cena sucks.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we want Cena sucks, because the kids love him and the adults hate him. And ultimately, Sneak Attack might not be wrong, because that's probably where this is heading, because Cody sells the belts, all the American Nightmare gear, and it's toward the kids.
Yeah, man.
And you're going to have adults be like, dude, we're tired of you, man.
Yeah. You get burned out for a minute from him. I mean, remember, we've been talking about it. We said, the whole Hogan situation, and I know we're gonna talk about Hogan, but like he's kind of like the actual figure, the like what Sneak Attack is saying, and many others have said. He's like their main draw right now, right? He's kind of superseded Roman because of the fact that Roman is not in every show.
Yeah.
Cody is. Cody's everywhere. So
Roman has become the attraction.
yes. So by having Roman be the attraction, people don't get tired of him. They still chant for him and they still want to see him. And the show seems it feels bigger when he's on. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, because he's an attraction. He makes it mean more.
But when it comes to Cody, are we getting Cody worn out? That's what I'm trying to think. Because I am. I feel
Cody
like
fatigue.
Like I'm tired of Cody. Like they're feeding me too much Cody to the point where I might just start saying I don't like Cody. And I mentioned that on Saturday. I know I said, hey, I don't want to see a Cody like a Hogan 24/7, because it's gonna be a point when I'm gonna go ahead and just say I'm done with Cody. I hope somebody kicks his ass.
Yeah, Chad's in. He says my 5-year-old loves Cody, and then he says Roman is the new Brock.
Yeah, my 5-year-old too. Memo. He likes Cody a lot too.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
He loves John Cena. Jesus Christ, he loves.
I know. Last week he got in. I was going to fight us over that.
Yeah, man. He was like,
he even started coming after me for something, and I was like, "Whoa, calm it down."
At least he wasn't saying some crazy stuff like Josh last week. Jesus.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know that Cody fatigue is going to set in yet. The problem is this, man, and this is something. And then I've talked about this a little bit. This is where his dad, as a booker and everything else, understood where his rise to fame was always chasing. Because if you ever watched, Dusty would end up getting the belt, but then it would get cheated off of him, and then it would start the love affair with Dusty all over again until he tried another shot at whatever title. Now, again, Cody finishes the story, and he's been a pretty dominant champion. I mean, he's had feuds and this and that, but at what point did you go, oh, the belt's probably coming off of him? I don't think I've ever thought the belt was coming off of him, and I don't think the belt's coming off of him at Royal Rumble. Maybe at WrestleMania, you're right. Maybe that's the time, and then they try to build it back up.
Do you feel that they should take it away from him in WrestleMania?
Like, man, and this is the funny part is, again, because of the Netflix, because of everything else going on right now, their business is better than it's been. And sometimes that goes toward who the champion is. Whether it's right or wrong, it reflects on who the champion is. And right now, that is Cody and that is Gunther. When you look at it now, I mean, the way they're doing it now, it really feels like it's really Cody. Gunther's kind of become the continental champion of His belt's there. They did make it mean something last night as he came out with Seth Rollins and then Logan Paul. God damn it. Why'd they have to bring his ass back?
Yeah, Logan Paul, baby. The Eagle.
Yeah. And then this is on the wheel, but I want to ask you this right now before we go further.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'll wait, see if it comes up on the wheel. If it doesn't, before we go to AEW, I'll ask you about it.
All right.
But overall, this is the reason why I don't see Cody turning heel either. I just don't think you can turn him heel, man. I don't, unless
Never gonna turn
you
heel.
come across like the one thing I loved last night at the end of the match, and Sammy, I put on my caption yesterday on my recap was, "Oops, Sammy did it again." Because the same thing that he did to Seth Rollins, he did to Cody. But what I loved about this week was it wasn't just Drew with the shit-eating grin. They did a perfect camera angle of Cody leaned over the rope with his head on the bottom rope, and Sammy's like, "Damn it, I messed up." And Kevin KO just walks up to him, taps him on the back, like, "Thank you, my man. Appreciate it." And he left. And I was like, this is perfect. This is great. This is what you want to have leading up into Royal Rumble, because now, does Sammy get involved in the ladder match at some point?
Now, the thing that I didn't like, and I'm starting to not like this, is that for us tuning in on Netflix, the last thing we saw was Cody versus CM Punk, right? Face to face. But there was more. Apparently,
there was a dark match afterwards, which was Carmelo Hayes coming out.
Oh, okay. It was a dark match because I didn't know it was a dark match. I thought it was Carmelo kind of like.
Well, he did. He did his thing and said, "Plot twist: Carmelo ends the show in ATL," because he did all his thing talking it up, and then basically what the end of the base of the whole thing happened was he just stopped him and then hit the damn twist, the crossroads on him, and everybody went home happy, kind of afterwards.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just a feeding of somebody to them, because that's the other thing with with Netflix. The way it goes now is you're going to almost 10:30, 11 o'clock. You don't really throw out a dark match anymore. So you have like these little things there. No Doubt said, if it is Roman versus Cody at WrestleMania, who should win? I say Cody. I know we are talking Cody fatigue, but if Roman just goes right back to the top, it seems cheap. But again, that's where I think, I think the whole CM Punk has the favor thing plays into that role, to where now you end up somehow, Heyman makes good on the favor. CM Punk somehow, wins the title or whatever. And now you've got Roman and Cody both chasing after CM Punk. Now, what that does for the Wise Man and Roman's relationship now, that might be another part of this that they would need to.
You know what would be really cool? If they really went like 180, bro, and they had Kevin Owens beat Cody Rhodes and Sammy win the Royal Rumble, and then we have in the main event at WrestleMania Kevin Owens versus Sammy. That would be really like ballsy of WWE. I don't think they would ever do it, but that would be ballsy, bro.
But again, that is something, again,
when try to sell it a little bit too.
When we talk about this we don't really know what they will and won't do. If you ask me, if Vince is running this, hell no.
No.
That would never happen. That's never going to happen. But Triple H loves him some KO, man, especially heel KO. Now the question is, if they do that, do they take the title off Gunther at some point, put it on somebody bigger name to sell WrestleMania? Because I don't think KO Sami Zayn sells WrestleMania as much as Roman Cody. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And again, not taking anything away from them, because that KO could probably sell a pay-per-view, but you're talking 2 nights. And you're talking that he would be basically the world champion now, where Cody would normally be. I just don't know that happens like that. Sneak Attack says, is there any payoff for Jey Uso? Crowd goes insane for him. Oh, he got a shot at the title. It didn't work out. I hope they stop the main event part. I agree with what Sammy said on Saturday. It's like, how are you main event Jey Uso, and every time you get to the main event, you can't win?
Shots fired.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Jey Uso, he gets the crowd response, and he still got. I thought the crowd response in ATL was great. The only thing I didn't like about that whole shit was the damn drone cuts that they were doing.
I like the drone cuts.
No, but they overused it this time, man. And maybe it's because Jay took a long time to get to the ring with Cuervo. But my goodness, man, it was like the drone 3,000 times. I was like, oh, I'm getting sick just watching this because it brought back the Kevin Dunn days of every time there was a punch, it was a cut. And it's just like, man.
No, I actually liked it. I thought it works for him, in my opinion. Maybe if I see him more often, maybe I'll get tired of it. But I think it works.
I love the flying in part. Don't get me wrong, but I don't need to see the flying out, the flying in, the flying out. Like,
I want to see it fly into the bathroom. I wanted to fly into the food stands. I wanted to see everywhere, bro.
That should be the next one. It's gonna be like somebody at the Royal Rumble. It should be like they're like it's in the bathroom hovering, and somebody comes out of the stall and just goes, "Oh, that's my number. Gotta go. Gotta go."
Something wrong with the drones in the bathrooms or the food stand?
Yeah, and then is there any? Oh, sorry. No one thought Roman would be heel, but you could turn him heel with Heyman.
All day.
No one thought Roman would be heel.
Well, I guess what he's saying is that he would be heel after the whole bloodline situation, after when Jacob Fatu and all those guys like took over the role of that bloodline, and then he became like
Terry, what's up, my man? Yeah.
What's up, Terry?
All right. I'm starting to buy the Sammy is acting intentionally and playing the fool. He does that so well, though.
Well, you saw KO. He like tapped him in his chest like that.
Yeah.
And Sammy didn't do any reaction. He was like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Okay. All right. We'll let play. Heel KO is my favorite. Heel KO is probably the best KO version, especially when they give him what he's got now, where it's kind of uncuffed and doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he's a whiner.
And then Terry's a what up, and also it's also similar to the Hangman Adam Page, right? Where he's not really wrong. I'm doing right. Everybody else is wrong. My vision says that I'm doing everything properly. You turned your back on me. You went and chose the team with Roman, who did all the bad stuff.
That's a really good comparison.
I thought it was very funny when he did with Sammy. Sammy goes, "Go ahead, say your thing. You're mad at me because I teamed with Roman." And he goes, No. I know why you teamed with Roman. You have history with Roman. It was like, you start explaining it, it's like, this fool's going to make me believe that, he's actually right somehow.
No, and you know what? Like I said, I think that's a very, very solid comparison. The Hangman Page character and the Kevin Owens are very, very similar. They like what you said. They feel like they're right all the time. And they feel that everybody has a chip on them and they're wrong all the time. So it's a very good comparison.
Yep, it feels that they're never wrong. All right, next topic. The Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. On Saturday Night Main Event, he went in and basically just destroyed Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman did send out a thing afterwards that you should have killed me.
And, damn, some aggressive words.
It just, look, here's my whole problem with this, Frankie, man. And I love, and I'll just say this right now. WWE did a great job of bringing in Jacob Fatu, and they've done a great job up to this point, everything they've done with him, including contact with Roman, but not too much contact with Roman.
Yeah.
Not enough to where, okay, now he's jobbing out to Roman. Did Roman bump him around a little bit? Yes, but every time he got, you've seen this building. And then when they did that with Braun, but now here's my problem. And I did see this tweet, and I agree with it. If you want to build a monster, you have them kind of take out Braun Strowman, right? Bronson Reed, you remember how he started getting the come up before the bloodline whole thing happened? It was him and Braun Strowman. No, it was him and Braun Strowman, too, in the parking lot. Then he said, it's time for me to make waves. and then he came in like tsunami set 7 times. But it started with the Braun Strowman, and then you do the same thing here with Jacob Fatu. My problem is, I feel, and I said it on Saturday, like, I mean, it's cool. You can come back and say, you should have killed me. But you had the crowd chanting for Jacob Fatu to do it one more time.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. You had him chanting Fatu. Like he's becoming like on that echelon of how are you going to do? What are you going to do with him? He's on that echelon of where Goldberg was in WCW. And
I wouldn't go that far, but
dude, I mean, if
Goldberg, there's only one Goldberg, and as a matter of fact, Goldberg should be a surprise entry in this year's Royal Rumble, but it's not to that extreme point. He is very popular, and he's getting over, and the crowd is starting to buy in even more. Because let's keep it real, when they brought him in, he was already a draw. He was selling people.
Oh no, he was in MLW. He was champion. He did his own stuff, Knox Pro, other federations like that, where they were drawing because him being there. But my problem is this: you've built him up to all of this. What happened with Goldberg once he lost?
But Jacob Fatu has lost before in tag team matches and stuff like that.
Yeah, in tag team matches, he hasn't been pinned in singles.
You never saw Goldberg lose in tag team matches because Goldberg would always be doing singles all the time.
Yes, but I watched Goldberg get pinned by getting a cattle prod ran into him or whatever the hell it was, and then a jackknife. And then, so once you beat him, then what is the draw is my question. Like, you build him up to be such this monster that at what point and how do you reel it back in, I guess is my question.
I feel that he could still take an L, like even during singles, but it has to be against one of the big giants. It can't be against, like, let's say, for example, Jey Uso. I think he's bigger than Jey Uso right now. I think he's bigger than Sammy, to be real honest with you. But that doesn't mean he can't take an L from Cody. He can't take an L from Roman. He can't take an L from CM Punk. Those guys. I think WWE is trying to sell him to that point, to get to that level. Like, I would love to see Fatu versus Gunther, and then Fatu beat Gunther at one point in time, and then he holds the other belt. He doesn't necessarily have to go after the Cody belt, but he could have the Gunther belt, and I think he would do a really good job being that champion right there, and I think he would elevate that belt even more.
Let me ask you this: if they do that, would you purchase the WrestleMania if the main events are, and I'm not working out logistically how this happens, Cody versus CM Punk, Roman Reigns versus Fatu, Jacob Fatu?
Of course, all day.
Well, of course, we'd buy it anyways, regardless. But it sells you though, right? That match would sell you.
Hell yeah, Roman versus Fatu.
Roman's going to sell. I'm talking, right now, realistically looking at
it. Second tier, outside of Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it does. You wouldn't be sold with those matches?
No, right now, yes, I would. Yes, I would, 100%.
Why not?
100%, but I'd be sold for anything on WrestleMania. Me and you, I mean, that's our problem. That's why we.
Well, let's ask the chat board and the people watching. If you guys would you guys, if they didn't have Peacock, if it was like you had to purchase a pay-per-view, would you pay to see Roman versus Jacob Fatu and Cody versus CM Punk as your main events?
As your main events for the men.
I personally feel like there's enough firepower to sell those WrestleManias. I think they're both really good. Obviously, everybody wants to see CM Punk, but you would have to turn CM Punk heel. I feel like in order for that match to build up, you gotta have a heel more, because I don't think.
Does he need to turn heel, or what happens if he aligns with Paul Heyman? I'm not saying join the bloodline, but he aligns with Paul Heyman.
Oh, imagine it's CM Punk.
So Paul Heyman's got the bloodline as the whatever, and then he leads also.
Imagine Punk wins the belt, and Roman wins the other belt, and then you could elevate it even more down the road to champion versus champion, Punk versus Roman, and they both have belts. That could be something people would definitely tune into.
Yeah.
So,
Terry said, when do you guys think they will reveal who attacked Jade Cargill?
I think Royal Rumble, man. I think she comes into. I have the
Here's
feeling.
the thing. This is the first time where I've heard somebody had a a significant whatever health scare or whatever the news has been. Then it's kind of gone away. Nobody's really said a lot. Then it was okay. She's training at the Performance Center, but WWE has said not except they mentioned on the broadcast like, oh, don't forget. Bianca was tag team champions with Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill was attacked. They said all that stuff. I agree with you. I think it would be great for her to come out at Royal Rumble and then go after somebody, and then you're going to go, oh, that's who attacked her.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? But I just don't know where she stands right now. And again, maybe that's because they want it to be a secret at Royal Rumble, and that's no problem. It is so weird to me that in this day and age, there has been nothing said.
That is true. That is a very good point.
Jade Cargill, whether she's 100%, whether she really had a health scare, whatever it was, it's not been brought up a lot.
Not at all. That's the only thing that could doubt a lot of us if she's going to be part of the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
But what makes sense is what you exactly just said. She doesn't have to win it, but come out and throw and just look, man. It's obvious. I don't know why, but it's obvious that it has to be either Naomi or Bianca Belair that she goes after. I just feel like it has to be one of those two girls. I feel like one of those two girls plotted on her. That's just how I feel.
Yeah,
even though Bianca, I think Bianca Belair was in the ring when she got attacked.
That don't mean that she wasn't attacked beforehand and Bianca went to the ring.
Or Bianca actually set up and told somebody, hey, go beat her up and go knock her out.
Or could they both be involved, Bianca and Naomi? Naomi might have been the one that ended up taking her out, but because Bianca, and again, what you're saying is true. What if she goes in, she eliminates whoever it is, and then she just goes after them and fights the back, never really getting eliminated, but never coming back. Nobody's going to, whatever. But then also, later on down the line, if Charlotte Flair wins, and now she's cutting an interview, she could come out and be like, look, I never got eliminated from the Royal Rumble. I just had my own business to take care of.
But you know that they never do that. They never do the thing of that they've never been eliminated.
Why not start it now? Because at what point, I guess what she could do is just...
Because it's not going to always work.
She could do the old Kane and go over the top rope out and then chase her so that she eliminates herself.
That yes. Because remember when they screwed up and Batista and John Cena got eliminated at the exact same time and they had no idea what the hell was going on? How did that work out? That was a terrible botch. And then obviously Vince McMahon came out and then he sprains his ankle or his...
he blew both his quads at the same time sliding into the ring.
Look at that. So and how bad was that? That was terrible.
Well, that's what happens when there's a botch. I mean, that's why I don't like those type of finishes in it. Because, for instance, think back to this. Shawn Michaels leading up to the whole WrestleMania when he was going for the title. He catches it, one foot touches the ground. If the other foot accidentally touches the ground, the match is over. The British Bulldog is now heading to WrestleMania. I mean, again, you got time to fix it, but it's like, okay, here we go. This is like, I'll never forget the first Royal Rumble. You know who the first Royal Rumble winner was?
No, who was it?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh.
Back then, it wasn't winner gets a title shot. It was just a match. And, then they started like, hey, let's make it mean more. So there we go. Is Roman not wrestling as much due to his cancer diagnosis a few years back, or is this something different? I just think it's part of his deal.
I think so too.
He got the Brock Lesnar deal where, he comes in and he knows which pay-per-views he's going to be on. He knows which ones he's got to show up to build, and then he does that. And again, they have done it almost perfectly to when he shows up, it feels bigger. Mm-hmm. It feels bigger. That was my worry about that Netflix night one. I was like, you've got this set up like a PLE,
yeah, and
you're not going to be able to sustain this.
No.
And again, it's fallen off a lot, but it's not bad. It's not what that first night was. Which
they're saying that they're still in the top 10 in Netflix shows, But the moment they fall out of the top 10 Netflix shows, you don't know how many people are actually tuning in. So the question is, will they ever fall out of that top 10?
Well, they fall out after Wednesday, usually. They stay in the top 10 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they fall out.
Yeah, but imagine if that same Monday they fall out. They're not getting the same crowd.
No, I don't think it will happen that way.
That would be crazy.
Because there's just too much, with the international crowd is really because the U.S. crowd is about the same. It's like 1.4 what they were getting on Raw on USA and stuff. So that hasn't changed a whole lot. Let's see. Goldberg is huge, but I always thought he was significantly bigger than everyone except Big Show until he fought Triple H, and I realized, wow, made him look much bigger than he was. I mean, a lot of the stuff, too, is camera angles. That's one of the things why, and again, I don't know how many of you guys have seen, who's one? Pac. Pac is shredded and cut to, the T. But he's not that, if you walked up, you wouldn't know that, damn, I thought you were a lot, bigger stature because the camera and those angles that they can do just make you look a lot bigger. Not saying that Pac's not big, don't get me wrong, but it helps when you're cut to like that and then the lighting and everything else. Isn't that Crown Jewel?
Yes,
Crown Jewel?
that is. So he was talking about when I mentioned about champion versus champion. So yes, you're
Oh, yeah, but I just, man.
They can still sell that over there in Crown Jewel.
Yeah, but I don't know. I got to look at the deal. I don't think there's a Crown Jewel this year.
No, really? I mean, I always thought, but they always had the stupid rings, like the Super Bowl rings now. So I would assume that they would have Crown Jewel every year now moving forward because of stupid rings. But I could be wrong. I guess we'll see. We'll find out. I mean, you're looking it up.
I'm trying to look it up right now, but I don't know. See, it's not yet confirmed because remember, it is next year's Royal Rumble is in Saudi, right? Or which one? It's next Royal Rumble, right?
This year's Royal Rumble is in Indianapolis, right?
No, this year, but next year, next January. Isn't that already announced to be in Saudi?
Is that the other one that's supposed to be a 2-night event?
I don't think it's a 2-nighter, but I think it is announced already going to be in Saudi. That's why I'm saying I don't think there's any Crown Jewels anymore. They went and they changed it.
Yes, you're correct. Royal Rumble 2026 will be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, so they're not doing the Crown Jewel events anymore. They're going to do these. They're going to get pay-per-views now, which
that's interesting.
Which is interesting because, again, you're doing a Royal Rumble there.
Yeah, Royal Rumbles are fun to go to.
Yeah, but again, how do you surprise people? I guess you could fly them in privately, right? But you'll know that a WWE plane landed, but you wouldn't know who was on the plane. But again,
you surprise people by bringing Goldberg, Brock Lesnar. Anytime those guys are in any Royal Rumble, you surprise them. I don't care if I heard that they're flying in from a plane or whatnot. I'm already surprised.
Listen, the last time Goldberg did a match in Saudi Arabia, it didn't go well.
That was back in the day.
It was a Sunday.
JD and Dom versus the War Raiders.
Yeah. So the reason I'm asking this is because we sat here last Tuesday and we said we think it would be beneficial if Dom is found out as the leader of the Judgment Day and they put the tag titles on him on the first night that he challenged for them. Of course, that damn dumb Triple H doesn't think anything about Dirty Dom. No, I'm just kidding. But your thoughts on the whole thing about the JD and Dom, and again, and this is the other thing that I will say this, and then I wanted to bring this up because do you think the finish got changed when JD got hurt?
No.
Yeah. No. I don't either, but I just thought I'd throw it out there because it was very, interesting because at first they said he hit his head. I've gone back and slowed it down.
He hit his back, bro.
He hit his right up below the shoulder blade and the whiplash now. His head did whip back, but I don't think it ever made, contact with the table. But dude finished with broken ribs and a punctured lung. Now, I don't understand. The one thing I don't know is I've heard if you broke your ribs and you punctured your lung, you could. I know he fell down getting back to the crowd, back through the curtain. He went down. There were some pictures taken of him collapsing after the match as they went back into the area. But man, I couldn't imagine wrestling with, even broken ribs, taking bumps, and every time you hit,
that's gonna hurt.
Or trying to breathe or anything like that. Tough mofo, man. But
well, I'll tell you this: when I was sick at the beginning of this year, in January, I had I was getting a huge pain in my back. I could barely move, man. I was struggling. And when I made it to the urgent care, and the urgent care finally checked me out, they were like, "Look, you are having lung issues." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, that pain is because of your lung. So we need to give you medication for that." So if he sucked it up, because if this was just me, now again, my body's not at the same condition like his. The guy is definitely better shape than I am.
Yes.
I mean, look what I'm freaking drinking right now. I come on, man. This part of the show is being sponsored by Burger King. I mean, I gotta give him props, but look, I'm gonna tell you something, man. For a minute there, I don't know if you noticed, the crowd was cheering for Dom and JD.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I honestly feel that the War Raiders were gonna win, but I think because that match was very competitive, even though JD and Dom were being you could tell the difference. The War Raiders are big dudes, but there was moments in that match that JD and Dom had a really good shot at beating them. I thought that the idea here, and again, this is just me assuming, I thought they were going to run it back. I think that they were going to run it back, and I think they were going to give Dom and JD McDonough the victory, and I think they were going to win the belts. But because of JD being hurt, I think they have to make a left turn and go somewhere else. Yeah. But honestly, I felt like
you're not giving Dom and Carlito the titles before anybody says that's gone. That whole thing, Dom now will not be a tag team champion unless they bring Finn Balor back. But that would distort. I think that would distort that whole.
That match was amazing. It was really entertaining, bro. I'm surprised how good JD McDonough looked in that match. Considering how bruised up he was taking bumps like there was no tomorrow. That guy got a lot of respect from my end, bro. I was like, wow, this guy is good. This guy, and it just felt like the War Raiders were so much superior than them. But yet Dom and JD were just, pushing themselves to try to beat it. They made it competitive to the point where you actually went ahead and said, "Hey, dude, I think these guys could win it." Which I think made a hell of a match, bro. And I think that's why the crowd started cheering for them.
The other thing I think also that happened was that WWE kind of painted themselves in a corner, especially when they started getting over with the crowd, meaning JD and Dom, was because it was the War Raiders' first title defense. And it's like, okay, so once I heard that, once they kind of hammered that home, I said, okay, there's no title change happening tonight. But like you're saying, they did make it, very interesting and seeing there. And Karun, I didn't realize that was you asking those questions. Welcome in, my man. And then he said, I heard JD was so badly injured, Chris Greer immediately signed him for O-line help. No, actually, they signed him as a running back. That's where you can't put JD on the offensive line
or a quarterback.
Oh, we could do that. We could do that with broken ribs. Yeah, it makes sense. Quarterback with broken ribs. So I don't disagree with the way it happened at the time before the injury. Though there was a time where I was like, man, they could go and put the titles on JD and Dom.
The only bad thing about it is that because of JD getting hurt, and now you don't know what's the status of Finn Balor.
I can tell you what's going to happen right now.
Tell us.
Judgment Day is going to get swept under the rug.
Yeah, they're probably going to push him. Yeah, because you don't have anybody. All you got is Dom and Carlito.
And Carlito.
That's it. You only got those two guys, and then you have Liv and Raquel. But
yep, I feel like Carlito's going to start getting fed to Penta for a couple Raws.
Hey, he better not, goddammit. Penta better be challenging Braun Breaker for that IC belt, bro. and I know we're talking JD and Dom, but why why are they not showing that interview and then Penta coming in? Penta is the number 2 most selling wrestler right now in WWE, and you don't even show him. What, dude? He was like 2 seconds there, bro. It's
They
like,
showed him the whole thing. He did that promo where he put himself in the 2025 Royal Rumble.
yeah, but that wasn't huge. The huge part was when he was staring at Braun Breaker and he was like, yo, like cero miedo, bro. Like, come on.
You need a VPN or something. Get the international feed, then you can see all that.
Jesus, I'm gonna have to go to the Spanish one. Maybe the Spanish one is showing it. I will say this: I'm a little bit disappointed at WWE. So I do have a wrath at WWE. I ordered my Penta shirt and my Penta mask, and I got confirmation that the Penta mask is not coming until March, end of March, and either end of March or April, beginning of April. That's how bad that mask. I guess everybody's ordering it. And my shirt is not coming till the end of February. What is this, AEW? Come on, man. Get your shit together, WWE. Where's my mask? Where is my shirt? If you're going to go ahead and sell these products, at least deliver.
Can I tell you what happened?
The products to me, because I'm talking wrestling with Sean every Tuesday. I'm promoting you guys. I should have a little bit of perk over there.
Penta was going to be what turned out Penta to be. I think they said, okay, we know he's coming in with some fanfare, but this is the WWE. We know how this works. And they said, all right, then let's not go crazy. Let's see how it goes. And then they were like, oh, okay, this is how it's going to go. And we're not ready for this.
This guy's actually good. A lot of people actually like him. I'm telling you, man, he was a fan favorite in AEW, man.
No, he's always been a fan favorite. The problem is sometimes guys don't resonate with the WWE audience. But Penta did. Day one.
You need to put Penta versus Dom as well. Oh, that would be good. At WrestleMania, Penta versus Dom. That would be a good one.
Still waiting to find out what this whole damn Chad Gable Luchador Master thing is going to be. I don't know where they're going with this, man.
Well, Penta's in the Royal Rumble, so I think
Chad Gable.
You could actually put like if you wanted to kind of like add him another villain or another heel for him, you could do something at Royal Rumble. Maybe whoever eliminates Penta, because obviously I don't.
Also, I think you could do a thing where Braun Breaker charges at somebody, Penta ends up making. So now you start also that what they started last night, they can keep moving that on. Because again, Breaker's not winning, so why not add it to where?
I didn't know Breaker was in the Rumble. He's in the Rumble too.
I think he's in the Rumble. Hold on, let me see. I got the list here.
I didn't know he was already
all the way so far. Braun Breaker is in.
Wow.
It looks like last night. Logan Paul, Jey Uso, Penta, Braun Breaker, Chad Gable, and Rey Mysterio. Well, Rey Mysterio had already entered, but Gable wasn't in before. Breaker wasn't in before. Penta, Uso, and Logan Paul.
Damn. They have this is a stacked Royal Rumble.
Yeah. There's 16 guys listed right now.
Wow.
And I would say out of 16, you could probably go with 8 of them and be able to work around a pretty good damn.
The only way those 16 guys can be pushed aside is if they confirm Brock Lesnar enters the Royal Rumble.
All right, that tells me you want to move on. New subject. Okay. We got it. Hogan. Saturday Night Main Events. For those that don't know, Hulk Hogan was, well, if you watch the advertising on WWE, if you watched any of it and you saw it, it said Hulk Hogan was basically promoting it, right? He was like, San Antonio, Saturday night's main event, this and that, this and that. Saturday night main event rolls around. No Hulk Hogan.
What's going on here?
Where was your man? Where was he at?
I have the feeling that he was maybe at the Orlando store. And he was just trying to sell some of his merch to the fans in Orlando. That's what I think was happening.
Wow. Well, I'm not sure where he was at as far as location. But I do know that apparently he was attending his son's wedding.
Which is horseshit.
Well, not only that, but why are you promoting a show you're not... It's not like they popped up and said, hey, Dad, It's Tuesday. We're gonna get married Saturday.
And that's why they were. I think it was Busted Open who mentioned it, saying that I think it was Bubba Ray or Bully Ray that was said it, or either him or Mark Henry that went ahead and said, "Look, when somebody's gonna get married way before the night of the wedding happens." So
Say the date, baby.
yeah. So like, why there's more to this. There's more to this, but
Radio said that they're like, they were told there's more than meets the eye to this.
So then now
that means I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Again, the problem is this: they said they were going to write Hogan in to be a heel after the response he got in California, in San Diego. So now all of a sudden show or whatever you do here, the last minute you cancel, which I don't think was a bad thing because
that was a terrible thing.
When I watched the Saturday Night Main Event, where the hell was he going to fit in at?
Oh, he could be fitting in any spot. That Saturday Night Main Event was not that great. It was okay. I don't know if you guys wanted it. I thought it was like a C+, maybe C-.
Okay, but where are you writing in Hulk Hogan in what you watched? Where does he fit in?
Put him in the middle. Remember, he's trying to sell his beer. So he doesn't have to go along with any of the storylines that are going on.
He's on the beer with Netflix. It's not on with like WWE necessarily. It's the WWE on Netflix VIP area is the real American beer.
So was WWE promoting him as well, or was it just him promoting himself?
He was on the commercial, Saturday Main Event, brother, San Antonio, Texas. Da 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 da.
So if WWE went ahead and gave the okay to promote him on NBC because they promoted he was promoting it, then why all of a sudden now is a conflict? Unless Netflix went ahead and said, no, we don't want you in NBC. You're signed to the whole Netflix situation, and you're going to be promoting Netflix, not NBC. That could be the issue right there.
Well, no, but see, I will say this. That may be an issue. But if it is, the other issue that I want to talk to you about, which if we don't get it on Spin the Wheel, we'll discuss afterwards, is going to be even a bigger issue.
What? How many times do we have to spin the wheel like 10 times tonight in order to be able to?
No. We'll do it. And then you know what the No Doubt says? Are we sure there wasn't an issue with NBC?
Oh yeah.
Would NBC say, "Hey, we don't want Hogan on"?
That is another thing.
But again, do you leave it to Hogan to be like? Because to me, it feels like everything fell to where Hogan called and said, "I got my son's wedding." Like,
no,
I don't know.
That's horseshit. That's why I'm telling you. That's not what happened. Somebody pulled the plug on him, and I don't think it was Hogan. Hogan is 100% into it because he was promoting it. He comes up with some bullshit. Excuse my language. Some bullshit excuse. That way, people can just push it to the side. This is bigger, man. This either has to be that Netflix got upset and Netflix said, "Yo, do not put Hogan in NBC. He's our brand. This is where this is what we signed." Or number two, what No Doubt says. NBC said, "Yo, we don't want Hogan. Get him out of here." But the thing is, if NBC would have said that or would have been thinking like that, they would have never even tried. They would have even never promoted him in the first place. That's why I don't think that's the case. I really honestly feel it was probably Netflix telling WWE, "Yo, we want Hogan on our side. If he's going to be a heel and he's going to be doing all this stuff, do it in the Netflix. We need the views. We need the people. That a lot of people sign up for Netflix for a reason, and we need to sell it. And that's why." And Saturday Night Main Event is going to sell on its own. Like people, it's not on a daily basis. It's on a random once a month. It looks like. So you don't need Hogan to sell that show. People are gonna tune in. That's the reality of the truth. But you do need people to sell Netflix because, like you said, the very first Netflix did really, really well. But then afterwards, it's done okay. It does its numbers, but not to the level of that first show. So, just saying.
No, I mean, again, we'll see where it goes and what it means. It's so odd to me that. And again,
were you happy that he
never said I'll be at Saturday Night Main Event? But the whole commercial was him talking about Saturday Night Main Event. So everybody assumed that if he's on the commercial, then it's going to the NBC. Didn't want Hogan like FIFA didn't want Colombia to win the World Cup.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Just saying.
Remember what we said at the
Oh,
beginning?
welcome in, my man. Welcome in.
Remember what I said at the beginning of the show?
Yeah, your 5-year-old.
Yeah, my 5-year-old Memo. He's a big John Cena fan, and he's a big Cody Rhodes fan. There you go. There goes those 5-year-old comments.
You can't see me.
Don't talk about Cena, man. You're gonna get him riled up.
All right, so here we go. It is time now for our Royal Rumble picks.
Uh-oh. I don't even know the matches.
I'll call them out to you.
Sweet.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot, honestly. It's very
Shouldn't be.
yeah, it's 4 matches right now, unless something changes on SmackDown. And then we'll do this.
Typically, how many matches are in the Royal Rumble?
Usually 5. Not
5?
much
Oh.
more. Yeah, because you got to think each Royal Rumble match is 1 hour at least in length, because it's 30 stars, 2 minutes to get each one in. So usually at about the 55-minute mark, everybody's in the ring, and then so each one of those is going to be an hour. So we'll do the matches that are not the Royal Rumble for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Why is that in the pay-per-view?
2 out of 3 falls, DIY takes on the Motor City Machine Guns.
Do you like that match?
I like it for a pay-per-view. I don't necessarily know. The reason I like it in this pay-per-view is because you're not going to have guys wrestle and then get in the Rumble. None of these guys are going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah, but Sean, this DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns, this feels like it should be on a regular pay-per-view, not like a Royal Rumble, not like one of the big ones. I mean, they're selling them.
Yeah, but again, this is what you just said about, the Hogan and Saturday Night Main Event. The Royal Rumble sells itself because of the 2 matches. You could put whatever else you want on it. The 2 matches are what sell, because this is the one where there's going to be a surprise entrant.
That's a good point. All right. I don't like DIY. Motor City Machine Gun wins.
I think it's going to be, as Memo said, I think DX wins it. I think Triple H and Johnny Gargano there, Shawn Michaels, I think they're going to win it, man. I think they stay the titles. And that's only because that Cheyenne, how we doing?
I'm here too.
The reason, Frankie, nobody cares about you. The only reason I believe that is because Ciampa and Gargano, they haven't been a champions long enough to where it's going to be a rollover for them. Every time it seems like they get the titles, they lose them right away. So hopefully they
aren't they fighting in NXT tonight?
Are they fighting? I know the women tag team champions are.
Yeah, I remember they are.
There you go.
And you know me, I'm here every Tuesday.
Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens ladder match. We both got Cody, right? I mean, is there any route you see of KO somehow winning this?
The only way is if Sammy gets involved in one way or the other. But check this out. I wouldn't be surprised if Sammy still gets involved and he costs KO the victory.
That's what I was going to say. It looks like he's going to help KO and he hits. It looks like he's going to hit Cody and he turns around and does the haluva kick to KO.
And then it sets up.
Cody goes up the ladder and wins it or something.
Yeah, and then it sets up Sammy versus KO.
KO, yeah.
That's what could probably happen.
Another WrestleMania moment for him. They won the titles together and then they can face each other.
Yeah.
It won't be a main event though.
Nah, they won't. They won't.
All right, so men's Royal Rumble match. You want to go with 2 picks or you want 1 pick?
The women's?
No, the men's. We'll go men's first.
Oh, damn. Why are you going with the men first? Why aren't you going to discriminate on the women?
All right, we'll go with the women's. There's 10 entrances so far.
Okay.
In the women's Royal Rumble. I'll name them: Bayley, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Laya Valkyria, Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez, Io Sky. And you know what's interesting? And I thought about this afterwards. How does, again, we talked about it last week, the TNA NXT partnership.
Oh, Jordan Grace entering the Royal Rumble?
Jordan Grace is signed now, by the way. She is signed to a WWE deal.
She is.
Yes, she is now officially WWE. But you got
AEW sneaky vibes. I like it.
Well, you've got Gail Kim, who used to be in WWE. You have Nick Aldis's wife, Mickie James, who is there. They've all been WWE superstars. Well, they were divas at the time, but now they come back as superstars. But I'm wondering where that fits into this whole thing and the NXT women. I mean, do you see Julia come out in this? Do you see, Roxanne? Who do you see?
Can we do this? Can we
So-
do this? Can we do this? Can we predict 2 winners and then 2 surprise guests that you think will go into the Royal Rumble? Can we do that?
Yeah, if you want to, yeah, we can do that.
And Cheyenne, yes, I am aware. I'm just messing with you. I know you know Sean for 20 plus years. And yes, don't worry, I'm old too. I'm right there with you guys. Not as bad as Sean, but yes, I'm still back there as well. I'm like not too far away. All right, so going with the women first, right? Let's go with the women. Screw it. All right, so I gotta look at this. Tiffany is the champion, and Rhea Ripley is the other champion.
Yes, it is. Yes,
So
they
So I have to look and see who could be a really good.
And no doubt, no, Diva's not a thing anymore. But that's how long it's been since Gail Kim has been in WWE. So there you go.
All right, so I'm gonna go out on a limb. No, not out on a limb. Obviously, one of my picks is gonna be Charlotte Flair. I mean,
Wow, way to go out on that limb, buddy.
Charlotte Flair would be one, obviously, and then my second pick. Oh man, this one's a little bit tough. You know what? I'll give it to Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, because then she could rematch Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, and they could involve Dom some way, somehow, something like that. That's what I think. Now, my 2 surprises, the ones that I would love to see, in my opinion. Oh, this is good. So, I think one of the first ones that I would like to see make a surprise guest would be this guy's wife, baby. AJ Mendez. Let's go. Bring her back, baby.
El Dorado.
Bring her back.
Have you ever watched Heels, the show Heels?
No, I have not seen
AJ Lee is in it. She plays El Dorado.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I think it's a good way for CM Punk to feel confident. That way he could win the Royal Rumble as well. So you bring her back, baby.
Having his wife with him in Indy. Yes. No way to feel more confident.
Of course, man. He needs every help and support he can get. That would be one of the first ones. And then number 2, look, I could easily say Becky Lynch because I do miss Becky a lot. I mean, I could even go as far as to say one of your favorites, Ronda Rousey, might come back. Those are like really, really good. I mean, we could throw NXT girls out there. Cora Jade might come out. Bailey, Bailey's already coming out. But Julia might come out. Lola Vice. Lola Vice is another one. Even Jordan Grace that just got signed. But if I have to think of one girl, and I feel bad because I think I would have loved to have seen Dakota Kai win the Royal Rumble for the women's side, but unfortunately Dakota Kai is another tool. I'm gonna. It's not too big of a surprise, but Jade Cargill, man, bring her, man. If she's ready to go, we all want to see Jade versus Bianca Belair. Bring her. I don't want her to win it, but I definitely want to see who kicked her ass.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say my 2 surprises, obviously, Jade Cargill and AJ Lee.
All right. I agree with you. I think Charlotte Flair is going to win this. And look, I believe Becky might be the other one that wins this. And I know I'm not going to say she's surprised because I think it's already known that she's going to be in this match. So I got those 2 just because they're coming back, and they would be a great match for either one, for Rhea or for Tiffany. Yep. So I was trying to think of Tiffany Time, but I couldn't think of her damn name. For me, I'll agree with what Shan said in there, is Alexa Bliss. I would love to see her come back. I know she's been working at the PC because her and Jade were working together. Is that a foreshadowing? Could have been Alexa Bliss who took out Jade Cargill.
Could be.
So there, and then also I would like to see Gail Kim, Mickey James. I would love to see any of the women from TNA that have been, with WWE roots to come back over as well, just for the nostalgia of it all, or even Brie Bella. There's been talk that she might come back.
Yeah.
Like one of the older, that have helped pave the way for some of these is who I would like to see just kind of show up and just be there. I think those two would be interesting to see.
Ronda Rousey, too.
Not they're going to win Ronda Rousey, man. Let her stay home with the babies, man.
Why not Ronda Rousey, man?
Let her stay home. She just had the baby, man.
The baby could wait.
Dude, I don't think she's not. She's done with the wrestling, I think, bro.
I think so, too. But
all right, the men's Royal Rumble. So far, 16 participants are in. John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Jey Uso, Penta, Braun Breaker, Chad Gable, Rey Mysterio. I think anybody but Gable, Mysterio, Penta's too early right now. Shinsuke, like anybody from Sami Zayn down are probably not winning it, but the first 5 or 6 names, you could take a route for any of them to win this match.
Okay. Well, let's go with you first. Who are your 2 favorites, and who do you think would be good surprise guests?
So, I think that the 2 favorites are the easiest to name to me, because I just don't see John Cena winning it, man.
Oh, please, hopefully he does not win that.
God, I just would hope that.
Jesus.
I just see the bigger storyline being if Roman or CM Punk wins it. That's who my 2 are.
You know what John Cena should do?
I know it's easy to choose, but
John Cena should come in twice. So he should come in as John Cena and then Juan Cena. He should do both.
Now for my surprises. And this is where I would like, honestly, since I know the surprises are not going to win it, why not bring Dolph Ziggler back? Nick Nemeth with the TNA guys. I would like to see him in there. And I would love to see Matt Cardona, the husband of Chelsea Green, the longest reigning U.S. champion. So why not bring them in?
Lord.
Oh, let's go. I think Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. That's who I want to see. Come
No.
because then I get the sparklers and make them go.
I do not, sir.
Okay.
All right, so my 2 favorites. You already picked both of them.
Yeah, I just think it's obvious when you look at this match. It's like, I don't know.
I'm gonna go a different route.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I don't think CM Punk is gonna win it. So I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns. And I think if there's anybody who has maybe a long shot, but might be able to probably pull it out, it would either be Drew McIntyre or Seth freaking Rollins. One of those 2 guys. They're the only other ones that I think that may be able to pull it out.
You're doing that because I already picked the 2 obvious ones.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wearing.
I know.
Wearing a shirt.
I just can't see, because I feel like a lot of those guys are going to end up costing each other, and those are going to be matches at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree. All right, my 2 surprise guesses. No, it is not Brock Lesnar. No, it is not Goldberg. But you know who it is? The first one? I would love to see Santino Marella come back to
That'd be a good one,
WWE.
Man.
He was actually...
He should come back and do the same thing he did when he got eliminated in like 1 second with Kane. He slid in and then he got eliminated. He's like, I wasn't ready.
Well, he had, I believe in social media, he did like an NXT promo as well with one of the girls from NXT, if I'm not mistaken. So
his daughter, right? He was trying on her tiara.
Yes,
he had a tiara on, and then she walked in and was like, Dad.
So I think them selling that, it opened up the door, and I said maybe just maybe they'll bring him to Royal Rumble. So I hope he does.
Oh, you know what? And Cheyenne brought it up. He could be in the men's and the women's Royal Rumble. As Santina Marella. No, Santina Marella. He used to do.
Oh, no, I remember her. That is his point. Yeah.
They could do both. I didn't think about that. Nice call. Nice call, Sam. Go ahead, sorry.
And then Karun says it sucks. The only thing we can't see about John Cena is his hair on the back of his head. Yeah, bro, that's pretty
It's
bad.
called a bald spot.
Yeah, he needs to. He's pulling the Manu Ginobili look. And then the other guy, guys, you gotta say his name, and he appears, I believe, in Joe Henry, baby. He has to be in the Royal Rumble.
Dude,
I
wouldn't that be
believe.
something if they started the Joe Hendry John Cena rolling from the Royal Rumble?
Perfect, bro. Perfect. It would you say his name and he appears. I believe it's Joe Henry. I would love to see Joe Henry in the Royal Rumble this year.
Yeah. And no doubt brought up a couple too, X-Pac and Bubba Ray. Those are obvious just because of all the interaction they've been having. And both of them are still active. So that could be. I mean, I have a feeling like, to me, honestly, I would love for some of the other guys to get some of this. But with these 16 that are already announced, you ought to make like the next 10 just surprise entrants.
I don't think they have to go.
Because nobody else is going. These are the guys that are going to win it right here.
Yeah, and no, not only that, but I don't think they have to go like how they always have they typically have like a surprise, like they have Booker T come out once, Edge when he was in WWE.
And also, we know Pat McAfee's getting in, right?
Yeah, of course he has.
In his hometown, Indianapolis. He's going to get called in there,
and maybe Corey Graves comes in as well.
And again, maybe that's another one. And I still think this is going to end up turning into something, man. I know it seems to have kind of like faded away and Corey's playing nice.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's like, okay, now you play nice. Let's get to Royal Rumble and then boom. And then you'll probably maybe get a match at the kickoff show at WrestleMania or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like it's going to be, I don't think they'll be, maybe they will be at WrestleMania just to give a break. You got 2 nights of matches, so just throw them on one of the nights.
Now let me ask you something, Sean, and I'm just brainstorming here.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Especially since next year.
That was smoke over there. I didn't know what was going on.
What?
You brainstorming. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. My favorite pay-per-view of WWE has always been Royal Rumble. Since next year, there's going to be 2 Royal Rumbles. Why doesn't WWE do 2
Royal Rumbles?
Yeah, two nights of Royal Rumble.
No.
It's not next year in Saudi Arabia?
It's SummerSlam is 2 nights.
Also, then it should be the following year again. Because there is.
They're going to do 2 nights of Royal Rumble.
There's not 2 nights of Royal Rumble. I swear.
No, I don't think they're going to do that.
All right, if they were to do 2 nights of Royal Rumble, wow, damn, then that kind of removes the idea. Because what I was thinking is, you mentioned that you want to give other guys more opportunity, and now that they have NXT, now that they have TNA, why don't they do 1 Royal Rumble for the WWE? Get the shot at WrestleMania for the WWE shot at the belt that Cody has, and then they could do another one with the lower tier guys challenging, I don't know, maybe Gunther's belt or challenging the Intercontinental belt. And then you have the lower tier guys join into that Royal Rumble instead. So you have 2 different Royal Rumbles, one for the WWE heavyweight belt, and then another one for like the IC belt or the other belt.
See, I would rather have the first night, meaning they have to qualify. You have 5 open slots. So the last 5 left in the Royal Rumble of night 1, the last 5 are the winner, and then the last 4 eliminated advance to night 2, where you already have a list of all your top tier, and then you get into the Royal Rumble. I don't want to have a
2 Royal Rumbles.
No, it's just okay. You win a Royal Rumble to fight. It's like Money in the Bank, having 3 different Money in the Banks because you need one for the U.S. title, one for the Intercontinental title, one for the heavyweight title.
No,
tag team one in for the tag team champ. But I mean, that's kind of what the Royal Rumble would do, because then you're setting up for the opponents of the lesser belts.
No, but you're giving. I mean, if you start selling like that, see how they had the stupid crown jewel and they do the stupid rings. And I don't know why I keep thinking that there's 2 Royal Rumble nights. I don't know why I keep thinking that. And you know what?
I just didn't see it announced when they announced.
Blame me, because I think I kept mentioning that.
No, you may be right, but I think
Memo also has also corrected. I think Memo has also corrected me on that, because for some reason I thought it was 2 nights. I said, oh, maybe they'll do the guys one night and then the girls the second night, but whatever. But anyways, I just feel like, why do we have to stop at one guy's Royal Rumble? nobody's ever done 2 Royal Rumbles of the same men. So do that one for the IC and then one for.
Remember what my worst idea of a pay-per-view was last week?
Oh yeah. It was like those 20, like those 50.
They had 60 guys, 3 rings, 20 guys, and then they were to throw them out of the ring, but then they just kept throwing them back and forth into the ring, and it took forever to do. And again, I get the difference there, but what I'm trying to say is, like, to me, the Royal Rumble is what it is because of what it means. The main event at WrestleMania. It's not the fact that you get a title shot. You get to pick the champion you want to for winning.
Well, then that you could do the same thing with the second one. You get to pick between the IC champion and the USA champion. There you go. Same concept.
Yeah,
Just
but
another match.
and Cheyenne said in there, you may lose the audience if you don't have any big names in the other match. I mean,
Why wouldn't you? If you got USA and Intercontinental champions prior, guys who've won it, you could include them in that second one, that second tier one, and he could be a surprise guest on that second tier one, in my opinion.
also an update for you from Cheyenne. It says initially it was noted that 2025 was 2 nights, then it was delayed to potentially 2026. So, and then they announced it in Saudi, but they didn't say how many nights it was. So it just says the Royal Rumble will be in Saudi. So I don't know. You may be right about that, but I haven't seen it announced as 2 nights yet.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that. And like I said, I thought I had read something about that, but thank you, Cheyenne, for having my back on that one. But and then look, any chance Big E could enter the Royal Rumble? That's a good one, man. That's a good one too.
Dude, you talking about a pop. If his music hits and he comes out there after Kofi and Xavier.
See, like look at all those guys that probably won't be in the Royal Rumble because I don't know if you could fit all those guys in there either.
You've got 16. There's still 14 more guys that can be in there.
Okay, the 14 other guys.
You still throw 11 more guys in.
Imagine you throw in the Dom Mysterio, you throw in the Kofi and Xavier Woods. You could throw in Damian Priest because I don't know if Damian Priest is going to be in there because he hasn't acknowledged. I mean, what about Jimmy Uso? Is he going to be in it as well? Look,
he hasn't earned his spot yet.
But if you would have had the other one, you could still promote it like that. You could still see those guys in the other one. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And in the NXT side, you could have easily brought in Trick Williams as a special one. You could have brought in Obafemi.
Is the only one that wants to see Jimmy Uso win a Royal Rumble.
But again, that would be for the IC USA belt.
Yeah, but nobody cares, bro.
I care. I think that's good.
You're upset about it.
I think it's creative.
You're upset about a 2 out of 3 tag team match on the card, but you want to throw in the undercard Royal Rumble so that you can win a shot at the US or Intercontinental title.
Oh yeah, because it would have been way better than that DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns. No offense to the Motor Machine.
Yeah, none taken. I'm sure they're not going to be
upset.
Yeah,
but DIY, I don't care about those guys. DIY sucks anyways. I'm not a big Ciampa and Gargano fan. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm not the first one to raise my hand and be like, oh yeah, I want to see those 2 guys. I mean, they do what they do, but not on the Royal Rumble. Get out of here, bro. Sorry, guys. Sorry, man. I just don't find you entertaining. Even when they were in NXT last week, I just don't find you guys entertaining. I mean, maybe they'll get better. I don't know, but that's just me.
Can we go to your favorite segment?
Wait, Cheyenne said, "Can we throw Dom out instead?" Oh, Jesus Christ! Dom better be in the Royal Rumble.
I hope not. I hope his mullet makes it in and he gets thrown out. It is time. It is, but we got to talk about it for a minute because I got to set up the other screen so that we can answer the question once everything gets set up here. I have not spun it yet. It took over for the last question that was answered before. Trust me, I can't. It doesn't reset. Frankie, let's go. Well, listen, it's probably better that way. That's probably the best part of the show now. Can I see you? Because, Frankie Fresco, I've got to set up. I don't have a producer over here to set up you being in the next shot after I spin the wheel. Way to pull back the covers. Yes, because your picture. No, I did not purposely pick this one because I cannot. You know what the worst part about it is?
Exactly,
I wish I
Cheyenne.
could
That's
share
it.
your covers. I wish we could share the covers you made.
Of course, we can share our coverage. What are you talking about?
I can't figure out how to bring them up on the screen here.
Oh my god! Do you want me to send them to you and then like share it from my side, and then you go ahead and share it? Because I know you've shown it before.
Yeah, well, I can throw them. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I think we can do that.
I've done it. I sent you stuff before, and you
But I can't figure out how to bring in the.
It's gonna be modified by you, but I could share it with you, and then you would just have to because this
You know
one.
what? Go to the Frankie Fresco Instagram and the Stanley Media House Instagram, and we'll share those later today. There's 2 new covers out that WWE sent specifically for us here at the Squared Circle Digest. So we'll share those.
I shared it right there.
Oh, did you? Oh, there we go. All right, here we go. Oh, it didn't do the right one. Hold on. Hold on. This is the terrible. I mean, this producer is the worst thing
I think so.
I've had on this show in a long time.
In a very long time.
And by that, I mean me. So
No,
this
I mean
is just the worst thing ever.
I thought too.
No, but see, the problem is, all right, so I'm going to bring it up, and you're going to have to see it, and then I'll take it back down, and then we'll talk about it. Here is the WWE 2K25 Squared Circle Digest Edition.
I mean that hairdo looks amazing.
It is amazing. Look at my locks.
I
Yeah,
love
the gray goes well, too, man.
that one.
Gray goes well.
Sold on that one, sir.
There we go.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
That
sold.
is the Squared Circle Digest Edition right there.
That sure is. And then there's another one. Let me send.
We're not both of them. Oh wow! Now we're really asking a lot of this producer. Let me tell you.
All right, there's a second one. The second one is not that good, guys.
And here it is, the
That's right.
second edition. It is. What is this? What are we calling this one here? Is this the Colombian bloodline?
Oh, the Colombian bloodline. I love it. But I need to crop some people's faces. I would have to put my brother in there, James Rodriguez.
Why does that
Memo.
guy look like Kurt Angle over there? On that guy,
Which guy? Which guy are you talking about?
the top. Who is that? Is that Heyman? I can't tell. The one right underneath your jaw, right there.
That's Jimmy.
Is that Jimmy?
Or Jey Uso. One of
Doesn't
them.
look like it from here.
Yeah. And the Heyman at the bottom to complete the look. Well, no doubt, this is the second one. The
There it
second
is.
one. The 2 covers. So you guys decide which cover you prefer. Personally, myself, I'm not gonna lie. I like the Shawn one. The Shawn one just seeing Shawn with hair, just priceless.
It's perfect. It just went well. I don't know how you did that, man. But for real though, the WWE 2K25 covers, if you have not seen them, it is of course Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman acknowledging him at the bottom, and then I believe there's going to be another one that has the Undertaker as well, and then there's going to be play-in editions, which is going to include the Wyatt Six.
What happened to the White Six? How come they haven't been shown on
I just think
SmackDown
they
already?
fell behind because of everything going on, and I don't know who you bring them on.
So you could have brought them into the Intercontinental USA Royal Rumble.
Oh, good God. Yes. We could have brought them in to the Intercontinental U.S. Royal Rumble. Oh, my God. Let's spin the wheel again. It's the worst thing ever. Thank God we can't see Frankie again. Can we hear Frankie? There he is.
If Cheyenne knew you when you didn't have any, when you did.
Here we go. Watch me the same thing. WWE 2K. Hey! Spin again. Watch me again. There we go.
Oh my God, we gotta talk about AEW.
Yeah, there's AEW pay-per-views, maybe going to Prime. I mean, this is the thing, though. It's like, is there anywhere where you can't buy an AEW pay-per-view right now?
I know, right? Well, they've been doing that since day one, right?
Oh, look at that. Karun's already the Sean line versus the Freskin Empire.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I like it.
I'm still surprised that Cheyenne knew you when you had hair. Cheyenne, do me a favor. If you have a photo of Sean with hair, send it to me, please. Send me a DM, please. I would love to have that
My
photo.
hair's always been short. It's just it was longer on top. I mean,
Yeah, no, well, no, I'm on right now. So I think people are delayed. What I was saying, Cheyenne, is send me a photo of Sean with hair, whether he had it short or long or whatever, or he had a mullet, whatever.
no mullets, man, no mullets. But yeah, I just think the AEW's they're going too many options, man. Keep it simple.
Why would they do it with Amazon Prime and not Max? Like Max is their main thing.
They are doing it on Max as well.
Yeah, but just keep it there. Like that's
But
your
the thing is,
base.
they're not doing like the WWE Network, where if you buy the thing, you get Max. For, if you get Max, you automatically get the pay-per-views free. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Peacock and WWE.
But it's gonna hurt people who have Max because there's a lot of people. I would prefer to get Amazon Prime because Amazon Prime, I get to watch the football games. I get to order stuff and come quicker. Why the hell am I gonna get Max now? I could just get it from Amazon Prime. I think it would hurt Max. To be
Well,
honest with you.
it should be. They should have signed a Prime exclusive. Jesus, an exclusive to where they can have the pay-per-view there. Like I don't see why if you're your Max, you say okay, you can have it on Triller TV, Prime TV, YouTube TV. No, we want our pay-per-views here.
Whoa, Cheyenne, you have Prime and Max. So then what do you have? Do you also have Netflix? Do you also have Paramount Plus? Like when you start adding all those things up, and I heard that Netflix is going up again, it's going to cost bread.
Yeah,
Like,
but if you only have the streaming ones and you don't do cable or anything, you might get away, depending on how you do the ads, like which ones you do with ads and everything else like that. Because Peacock is only $5.99 with ads.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that one won't break you per se.
Prime is like $17.
So she's at Prime, Max, and Netflix.
So you have those three. So how much is Max? Max, I think it's like $17 too, right?
I think it's $9. Or is it another one of the commercial things where it's $9 if you have commercials?
I know Netflix without commercials is $17.
Yeah. Oh, Max for free because of myself. But also, that's another thing with Hulu. Hulu now has a bundle where you get Disney and Max, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a bundle. It used to be ESPN and Disney.
But think about it, man. You also got Apple TV. Like, there's so much crap out there. Like, if you start piling them up, it's a lot, dude. It's so much.
Which is why I think you're going to start getting a lot of bidding on, when SmackDown comes up again or these other shows, you may end up having SmackDown on Prime, Raw on Netflix. Like, I mean, it's going to get interesting to see how they bid. Or does Netflix say, you know what? Raw is good enough ratings. Let's bring SmackDown over and just throw a bunch of money at it.
Yeah, because look, ESPN Plus is another one if you want sports. Like, it's a lot, man. It adds up, bro. And I have cable, too. So think about it. I have cable. I have, you guys want to know, I have Netflix because of WWE. I have Peacock because of the pay-per-views. I have regular cable. I have DirecTV as well. So I have those three. I don't have Max. I don't have Apple TV. I do have Amazon Prime, but I canceled Amazon Prime for now because football season is over. So I really if I want to activate, that's the only thing I like about Amazon Prime, that you could activate it and deactivate it whenever you care. Like it doesn't affect you. There's like no late fee or any like penalty for like deactivating and activating it. So that's why I play around with Amazon Prime. Like when I sometimes there's a couple months I'll go without Amazon Prime and then they'll be like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna buy
Prime Video, not Amazon Prime.
Yes, exactly.
You're still ordering stuff. You just don't do the Prime Video.
Correct.
Yeah.
I used to have Paramount Plus, but I got rid of Paramount Plus because I just didn't watch it as much. I don't have Hulu. I don't have Disney. Well, no, I do have Disney now. I have Disney because I have if you guys want, Black Friday, they typically have a cool bundle where they give like 50% off for Hulu, Disney, and ESPN. And it's really cheap. That's how I got it, because it was Black Friday and they give it to you for like the whole year. So that's really good. Just a little sneaky thing.
All right, you done? One more spin and then we'll see where we go from here.
Do we really got to talk about this one?
We don't have to.
Yeah, it landed. We have to now.
All
Cora
right.
Jade versus Bailey, bro. Cora Jade. Well, I will tell you this, man. I love me some Cora Jade. She went on Busted Open. Was it Busted Open? I think she went to Busted Open. And she started talking smack about Bailey, saying that why is Bailey coming to NXT? That there's enough women talented enough in the NXT, which is definitely true, and that she has no business being in NXT. So making it personal like that, I think it's a sell, man. I think it'll be a draw. I think it will, and it's a smart move by Cora because she could honestly just it might elevate her even more. Remember, she's been hurt and then she just came back, so it's like she has the image and the look. So if you bring her, and if she keeps talking smack about Bailey, I like it, man. Now, what I have it in
Also, they're building up to the Julia Bailey against Cora and Roxanne. I believe is that this week or next week?
I think it's next week.
I can't remember which week it is, but so it's ultimately they're gonna get there. So
Yeah.
it will be a very interesting thing. And again, I think Bailey also though, brings what she did at NXT, what she's done on the main roster, and it elevates the Cora Jade to me.
I think so too. No,
it allows that, like the whole thing with Roxanne. Roxanne's done a lot on her own. Don't get me wrong, but now that you're seeing her in there holding her own with Bailey, it shows that okay, she can go to the main roster and still make it work.
I think
that's kind of what you're trying to see right now.
Yes.
Whether it's still you can look at Roxanne and say, okay, it's this we could see she's a star. But then when we put her in there with somebody on the main roster, does it fall flat? And that's what I think NXT helps them with, is you can see it before you even have to. It used to be dark matches. You would bring out the talent and say, okay, how do they look and measure up in the ring when you look at them? Does it make her look, pale in comparison in size and things like that? Roxanne has all the talent in the world. The only thing that I do, and again, I'm not saying the size, but she appears to be on the smaller scale when it comes to your Tiffany Strattons, your Charlotte Flairs. I mean, they're almost going to look like giants. Imagine Roxanne with Nia Jax or Rhea Ripley, who to me are two of the monsters of NXT, And again, you could always tell the story of David and Goliath. Don't get me wrong. But night in and night out, it doesn't sell as much as. So that's one of the things I like, the fact that Bailey's going there, because Bailey, I think, is the measuring stick or the average of where, to see what you can do on the main event roster.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And I think what is that girl's name? Katana Chance and the other girl, forgot her name.
Carter. Katanza Carter or something, right?
I forgot her name.
Chance and Carter, or Carter and Chance, or no? Am I thinking wrong?
It's Katana and Caden.
Caden Carter and
Katana Chance. Katana.
Yeah.
So if you look at them, they came from the NXT world and went to the Monday night, or I don't know if it was Monday Night or SmackDown, but the main roster.
Yeah.
And you've noticed that they call it falling behind, and I think it's the height. I think the issue with them is that
they do a lot of cool stuff. It just, again, the thing about wrestling is it allows you to escape reality, but at the same time, you still have to have a little bit of realism to it. And yes, you can have those times where there's upsets and you roll up real quick and you get the surprise win, but you can only do that so many times before reality sets in. And that's kind of the thing to where, like, I like the fact that they teamed those two up, because I thought individually they weren't going to be able to do anything. And as a team, they clicked and they went on and did some great things, and they should continue to do some great things. So it'll be interesting to see which way they go. Appreciate you, Karun.
Yeah, let her Karun.
And then yes, and it was the Black Hearts. That's what we wore. When
we actually showed that picture last week.
That wasn't me though. That was the actual. That was probably Gangrel and
we don't have to say that. That was you.
Yeah, no, man. I'm okay. I'm discount. I'm the discount Blackheart. I'm low budget Blackheart. That's what I am. There's Apocalypse, and all that, and then so where was that on the Bailey front is, I think it adds the realism helps out
Oh, you gotta send me those, Cheyenne.
to that part of it. All right, now here's the thing that didn't hit on the wheel that I want to talk with you today on ESPN, or somebody in ESPN sends out a photo because everybody knows Conor McGregor is pulled out against Logan Paul.
Of course.
Well, now the new picture is Logan Paul face to face with Jake Paul, and the fight is to take place, I think it's May 27th or March 27th.
Okay.
And it will be on Max.
Ooh. Taking a shot at WWE there, Mr.
That's why when you were saying, I don't know if Netflix would like Hogan being on NBC, I was like, well, then this is going to take it to a whole nother game.
I mean, look, man. First and foremost, who the hell's going to watch that match? Like, honestly, I think this would probably be the least likely one that I would want to watch because Logan Paul sucks as a boxer. And second of all, they're brothers. They're not going to hit each other hard. They're going to take it calm and collected, bro. Who wants to see that? I think that's going to, unfortunately, for those two guys. Well, not unfortunately. Got a shitload of money. Yeah. So for them, I think it's going to be the worst one out of all of them. I don't think they're going to get that much people tuning in, especially after the Mike Tyson situation. Mike Tyson sold Conor McGregor. Hell yeah. But the two brothers, nah, man, they're not gonna.
I can tell you this much: this fight does not happen. There's no way Netflix is gonna let Logan Paul, a WWE superstar, go on Max.
Yeah,
and the WWE is gonna let him go on Max and sell. No, it needs to be on Netflix.
Well, it depends, man. It depends on what his contract is. Like, if he has a contract that says like he could do whatever the hell he wants,
the contract assigned him against McGregor.
No, I know.
But McGregor anymore. That contract's done.
But what I'm saying is Logan Paul, and remember, Logan Paul, I think probably in his WWE contract has a little bit more to say because he's always, promoting his prime drink and stuff like that. So, you know what? Just to go back for like a split second, wouldn't it be also kind of interesting if, how do you say his name? Kai Cenat makes his way to the WWE Royal Rumble, and as a surprise.
No, but I think what they're doing is him and is it I Show Speed or something? I don't know what the other guy is.
Yeah, Speed. Everybody.
Yeah, both those streamers, they're going to be in the back streaming. I think what they're going to end up doing is they're going to end up interviewing and streaming the guy that's coming out or gal that's coming out next.
Oh, that'll be pretty cool.
So you'll get it ahead of time. You'll know if you want. You tune into their stream, and it goes out to millions of people. It is amazing to me how well WWE has started doing with the YouTube, the vaults, the WWE vaults, where it's old WWE shows. Today they introduced NXT vaults. So now you're getting old NXT matches, and you're getting to see guys, again, everything social media does is it shows you things that you hadn't seen. Like when Ricochet and Swerve, when they're Puma and whatever in Lucha Underground. So, it's one of those things to where you start seeing more of them and you start seeing what they can and can't do, and you understand more about them. And again, it allows you to invest in what they're doing.
Yep.
Frankie, I got to step out real quick. I'll be right back in. It's under your controls.
Okay,
but minutes. I got to check something.
I just can't change anything, though. All right. So for you guys that are still going to stick around while I'm here and Sean is going to the restroom.
Hey, don't move on to the next segment. BS around for 2 minutes.
I can't. I don't have the controls to move on to like the AEW.
I don't want you to move on to the AEW.
Why not? I could handle AEW. Let's go. Let's bring AEW to the side. The first topic of AEW, I could definitely carry that conversation for a long time. But it's okay. Go to the bathroom.
There you go.
Oh, damn it. I thought it was the... Oh, God damn it. Well, we could skip the first one. No, okay. All right, whatever. He already left. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Now, first and foremost, guys, this AEW fans, they finally got something right last week because for the first time in a while, they sold me on it. Kenny Omega teaming up with Will Ospreay, and then on top of that, you saw Will Ospreay do that flip, which was insane. Like, dude, that type of that sells me. I like that. I really, really enjoy that. And of course, Don Callis. Don Callis is the type that obviously he wants to get his grips on, Will Ospreay and obviously Kenny Omega. Frank, I need a contact for you. I got you, Cheyenne. I got you. If you want to, if you guys want to send me a message, send me just look up Fresco, because not a lot of people spell Fresco like that. So just look at it, and usually it's Fresco Music or Frankie Fresco, one of the two. Just send it to me like that. On X, it's actually, I'll tell you right now. On X, I'm under Frankie Fresco. So if you're on X, send me that. That's exactly how it looks on my X. On Instagram, it's actually Fresco Music. So those backflips from the scaffolding and the higher deck were sick. I did not expect Omega. No, dude. And the crazy thing is that, right, Omega just came back from like a huge freaking situation with his health, and now these guys are flipping over. See, and that's the difference that you don't get as much in the WWE world. Those high risk takes. So Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay elevated, and I know you're not gonna get the fan reaction that everybody expects. You're not gonna go ahead and be like, oh, they're pulling now 1.5 million viewers and all that stuff. You're not. But us, the hardcore wrestling fans, are gonna appreciate that, because Jesus, one bad move and it's they're done. Like, would you do that flip? Hell no. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ, I could really get myself hurt. Like, look at JD McDonough doing that flip, and imagine if Kenny Omega or Will Ospreay would have gone ahead and done something like that. But do I have TikTok? Yes, I do have TikTok as well. My TikTok, and sorry guys, I'm just responding to Shan, because Shan wants to send me those pictures of Sean having hair, and I really want to see those pictures, because we're gonna put them back on the on the uh on the show. Fresco Music. I'm under Fresco Music as well, so you could do ahead and do that. So is this a reason why you want to gain more fans? I like it. I like it.
No, I had a Prime delivery.
I'm telling you right now, sir. I'm telling you right now. I'm so still disappointed at WWE with my Penta mask. I'm really, really, really upset. But yeah, man. So those type of moves from Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, like, dude, amazing. And I think that's elevating that matchup, because it's obvious that Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay are two big draws. But against Takeshka, I think it's against Takeshka and Kyle Fletcher, right? I think those are the two who are going to go up against.
Yeah, it's gonna be Fletcher and Takeshka.
And we all know that Takeshka and Kyle Fletcher are really good wrestlers, but they don't have the same, star power as Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. So my issue is, just like how we spoke about it at WWE, that Cody Rhodes is not going to lose. Can we honestly say the same thing about Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay? Will they lose?
You said the same thing. Kyle Fletcher against Will Ospreay, and Kyle Fletcher beat him.
He did, but now you got him team up with Kenny Omega. So do you really want to go ahead and push Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay to the side and take an L in order to get Kyle Fletcher and Takeshka over?
Remember, during Collision, Don Callis said they think there's only 5 of us.
Oh, so you think they might bring somebody else?
I'm thinking there's going to be more coming in.
But who would be the next people?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know.
They haven't told us on that too either, right? They haven't told us. There hasn't been like little.
Oh, that's the first time anything's been like that mentioned there. Because he was talking about it, and they're kind of looking at each other, and then he says, and who says there's only 5 of us? And that's where it stopped.
My question is, would it be somebody already in the AEW roster, or would it be somebody that they already went ahead and signed outside of the AEW roster? That's the question.
I honestly would think it would be the guy that teamed up with Fletcher. That's who I'm kind of leaning toward. That guy. I don't think it's going to be anybody big. I think it's going to be a numbers game where, and again, that's somebody that Ospreay knows. You know what I'm saying? So there's that there. Because again, everything he seems to be doing is to hurt Omega and Ospreay, which has now made them team up. Because leading up to the whole thing, if Don Callis doesn't come out at that point, the tag team match probably doesn't get made. Do you understand? Like they could have extended it a little bit more. But when Callis came out, then the whole fight started, and then it was on from there.
who is a really really big heel against Will Ospreay or against Kenny Omega that we could honestly go ahead and say, hey, like I'm thinking somebody from New Japan or anything like that.
Well,
Who's somebody out there that they would
I mean, when you
honestly?
do that, you could bring in like Zack Saber Jr.
Nah, but he, come on, man, Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, he's okay. He's
Yeah, but I
okay.
mean, he's what the equivalent has become to what Omega and Osprey did over there.
Yeah, I
He's doing
guess.
that now, you know. So, but
I'm just thinking somebody big who AEW
I
it would
just, man,
work for them.
I don't know if I'm a free agent right now, man. I don't know that I'm going to AEW, bro.
It's tough, man. It's tough over there right now. It's not fun. I mean, AEW is doing okay, but I
I
don't
mean, the
think.
Hurt Syndicate has done well, but
Yeah, and Will Ospreay and obviously Kenny Omega are two big stars that they're always gonna have. I mean, I'm just watching the replay of Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay do those
yeah,
flips.
no, that was great. The dueling flips, that was fantastic.
It's insane, dude.
Yep.
Hella moves. I just don't see.
I know Osprey's like that's the tallest thing I've ever jumped off of.
Mhm.
So, you know,
What about if there? I don't know if you noticed, but on their site it says he is the fifth most powerful man in wrestling. Fifth. Look at the key word, fifth, and he's got some stories about what it took to make Wrestle Dynasty happen at the Tokyo Dome. We're talking about Rocky Romero.
I mean, it could be. He is the damn it. I want to say analyst, but not analyst. The liaison between New Japan and AEW.
But if you bring Rocky Romero, like I don't think he's a big draw. Like I
No,
think
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's going to be anybody huge. That's why I think it's going to be numbers. I think they bring in like three guys: Rocky Romero, the other partner, and one more, and then just the numbers overwhelm Omega and Osprey the first time, maybe, and then you run it back and maybe put it inside a cage to where nobody can get involved, and then they do their thing.
I think for me, man, what they should do is that they should get this guy, the guy from um that he says he's the best wrestler in the world from
Max Caster.
Max Caster. I think that would be a good one to bring him on board
I just
because
don't know where he fits in with the family, though, because
well,
I feel
remember
like
he was a
that's Kyle
heel.
Fletcher's role. To be the egotistical one is Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, but it would be interesting because now you could create more storylines with obviously Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn and all those people. It opens up more to the point where at the end of the day they could go different routes. I mean, again, I don't want to build up too many stories at one time, but still, I just hope it's somebody who's like elevate one of your guys. Don't just elevate like a scrub. That's all I'm saying. Elevate somebody who's gonna do well for AEW and for the Don Callis because when you look at the Don Callis, you got Kyle Fletcher, who's done really well for himself, and obviously Takeshka's holding himself. But what has Brian Cage done? Brian Cage looks like the guy who's like pushed to the side. You know?
Well, they're the big guys that get fed to everybody else. That's why I always say, and you know what I always say about TK and the big wrestlers, man. He doesn't know how to use them. He's like Vince McMahon with the cruiserweights.
Yeah, he does struggle when it comes to the big boys.
I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You've had Lance Archer since the beginning, and he's done nothing.
And when they bring him back, he usually
I'm not saying you bring him in as he's got to be heavyweight champion, but he hasn't even been in the picture for heavyweight champion. He's been fed to people that are like on their way up. Not even like Lance Archer should be that guy that you beat him, you go to the championship level.
wait. Hold on a second. Did Buddy Matthews did he wrestle Osprey?
Yeah.
Oh, he did, but no. But actually, you know what? I don't want Buddy Matthews because I actually like the route, and I know this is kind of off the topic with Omega and Osprey, but I do like what they did on Saturday, where they actually put him against Okada, and then they were like insulting each other because Okada goes and he's like calling him a bitch, and then Buddy Matthews challenged Okada, and then Okada was like, "No, I'm not gonna fight you." And then Buddy Matthews was like, "Then you're a bitch." And then all of a sudden, that's when Okada was like, "I ain't no bitch." So it was. I think they could go interesting route. I
No, it
like
would be
that.
good. It would be good. And buddy, and look, the Hounds of Hell. I like the tag team name for them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, again, the Hounds of Hell, I believe, is Matthews and Brody King. It doesn't include Julia Hart. Julia Hart's kind of going to be her own entity.
But she was there on Saturday.
She will accompany them. No, she will accompany them, but it won't be like the House of Black. You know what I'm saying? It's the Hounds of Hell with Julia Hart is the way I think it's going to be portrayed.
But you want to know something? I honestly feel that I think if they know how to play their cards right, they could have more success as this group than when Malachi Black was with them, in my opinion.
Oh no, 100%, 100%.
I like it. I'm enjoying it.
I believe. Look, Malachi Black is very set on the role that, at least my understanding is, he's one of those guys that is very into, protecting his gimmick and what his character is, which is why I think you didn't see them on as much, because he was probably protecting a lot of the House of Black. Like, he didn't know, we're not going out there to just get pinned by somebody to elevate, to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not afraid to lose, but if you lose, make it mean something. Don't make, we got pinned this week by this team. Oh, now we're getting pinned this week by this team. Like, that's the problem that I think. It's not that you win or lose, but it's how you build your brand. And that's where I think some of the stuff falls off for AEW, because you can't invest in a guy that loses every week, then wins by a roll-up, and then you throw him in the Continental Classic and he goes 3-1 against top-notch guys, and you're like, well, why aren't they buying him as a championship contender? Because we've watched him get beat for 6 months straight.
I have a question for you. Malachi Black, I saw he was in CCW now.
Yep.
Is he like in that 90-day probation with AEW?
No, nope.
So that means he could be in the Royal Rumble if he wanted to.
He could be. Yes.
He could be a surprise guest. Just thought about that right now.
Yep. He was taking on, I guess, his student, the guy that he trained at his school or whatever, was the guy that he fought in CCW. Ryan.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good stuff, man. All right, the big topic.
Yes.
Of the day. Big Bill. No. The singles push.
That is not the topic we're going to talk about.
I'm just kidding. She's back.
All right, let me tell you something, man. When I saw that, and I mean, she got us. Dude, man, like, there's some people that you could allow them to take their character to the next level. And I think she has done wonders with her character. She is the type of person that you let her be creative, and she has hit on every spot. And what she did on Collision, it's unfortunate that it was on, my bad, I'm yelling. It's unfortunate that it was on Collision, because it should have been on Dynamite. And you know something? It should not have been in the middle of the show. It should have been to close the show as well. If you're going to do it on Collision, which you did, do it at least at the end of the show. Don't do it in the middle. Do it at the end of the show. Dude, it was when she got up and she says, "You don't think I know? You don't think I remember?" I was like, holy snap, there she is. And she sold it, bro. Look, man, we like to criticize AEW. We tell them that AEW doesn't know what the hell they're doing sometimes. But, man, God damn it, whether Tony Khan had something to say with this, or if this is all Tony Storm, I'm bought. I'm sold in it, bro. I am sold 100%. This is probably one of the best stories that I've seen in the women's division when it comes to the AEW side, being real honest. Sean, why are you playing at the chat board? Why do you keep sending Cheyenne will do, Cheyenne will do, Cheyenne will do, Cheyenne will do?
No, I sent it once, and apparently it sends for every social media. I sent for you too. Apparently you will do as well. No, I'll get you information.
Let me get your opinion. What do you think?
All right, here we go, man. Execution, beautiful.
Here comes the criticism.
I love it. For me, the timing, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. And it's not the fact that, like, for me, look, I get it how she says this was the best acting of her career, but here's the one thing that I didn't like. And I even tweeted out as she was getting whipped. I'm like, oh, damn, Mariah May whipping the Timeless back into Toni Storm. I thought you sit here and you beat her down, right? And you leave her laying this time. All right. Now you cut back on Dynamite. Again, this is building up for a pay-per-view, February 15th. Almost 2.5, 3 weeks away. The Dynamite, you show a footage of her in the back. And she says, you know, as a rookie I am, Mariah May taught me a lot today, and I've learned a lot quickly. Then you go into a match. It's Toni Storm against whatever. Just throw her in there with an enhancement talent. The enhancement talent starts beating her down a little bit. Then you start seeing the timeless Toni Storm come out of her. And again, if you want to get cartoonish and everything else, when she starts fevering up a little bit, click it real quick to black and white, and then back to color. Phew, phew, like there's glitch. Like there's a glitch. Bam, bam, bam. And then you build it up and build it up. And then on the Wednesday before you go into, you can even have Mariah beat her down a little bit, and it beats more of the timeless. And then she's face to face with Mariah. Mariah's up on the ramp or whatever, the Wednesday before you're going into Grand Slam. And then she says, timeless Toni Storm is back. Chin up, tits out, whatever the hell you want to do. And then it goes from color to black and white. And she's back. Going into, because everybody knows it was going to be timeless Toni Storm against Mariah May in Australia, their hometown. You knew what the payoff and the result was going to be. I felt like this was more of, it's, you know, like when somebody punks you out and then you're like, oh, I'm all in now. She beat her down and then Mariah May said, and then Toni Storm like, haha, not so fast. I've been fooling you all along. Well, she just whipped your ass one time and you folded. You showed her your hand. You're now timeless Toni Storm. It could have built up a little bit longer.
Okay.
But that segment was great.
Okay, so I agree with you, but I also disagree with you. I'm going to tell you why. What do I agree with you? I agree with you that they did it really early. They should have done it on that Dynamite, and they should have done it leading up to their pay-per-view where both of them were going to fight. So I agree with you with that. What I don't agree with you is I don't think they needed to go like the Wyatt type of vibes where, hey, they keep giving us snippets over and over and over again. I like the fact that she turned it around just 180 that one night. I feel like a lot of you guys, everybody's going to say, oh, we knew Timeless Toni, but there was a lot of us that was saying at the beginning, what the hell's going on with Toni Storm? Why is she back to, the old Toni Storm? Like, what was the whole point? So she got a lot of us at the very beginning because we were like, I don't know what this character, I guess she like, something must have happened to her to the point where she wants to be back to the old Toni. So her coming out and revealing all of a sudden, I thought that was smart. I thought that was the right thing to do because when you're in a movie, you basically, you don't build it up. You all of a sudden, there's moments in movies where, hey, boom, like the shark eats you, like Samuel L. Jackson, you're going to make it out of here and deep, well, I think it was Deep Blue Sea. And then the shark comes out of the blue and eats his ass. Those are captivating moments when you're like, holy shit, what happened here? Like I like that in a movie. So I can understand why they went that far. Now, I will say this.
But wait a minute. Wait, real quick. In a movie, they string it out for 140 minutes. Not 28 seconds.
Yeah, but it's wrestling. You don't have 48 minutes for two girls.
No, you've got 3 weeks.
Yeah, no. See, but you got to look at it as a movie. When you look at it as a movie, right, you have those movies that are like building up. And then you have the movies where, hey, it just happens all of a sudden and you're shocked, right? Like The Sixth Sense. Oh my God, he's actually dead or he's actually a ghost or whatever the hell it was. Those movies like that. That's what it is. You build it and then you just throw it all of a sudden. I like that. I thought that was creative. because it's similar to a movie, and that's what she is. She's all about movie, timeless, and all that stuff. What I do feel that they could have done better, besides the date, is that as soon as she flipped it, they showed on the bottom of the screen, obviously Mariah May versus Tony Storm, and they still kept the old Tony Storm. They should have immediately had already the graphics going back to the timeless, and they should have put it in black and white. That's what they should have done. They should have put in her in black and white against Mariah May. Now that she has revealed herself that she is gonna fight again as timeless Tony Storm. But hands down, one of the best executions in the AEW world, especially in the women's division. Very, very. How could I say it? We spoke about this. You know what, Sean? We spoke about this. We had the awards and we were saying, "Yo, who is like the woman that we really felt did a hell of a job last year?" And we both agreed it was going to be Tony Storm, right? We both were like, "Yeah, Tony Storm is just a badass." And obviously the other one was Mariah May, and those are the two girls that obviously are going to carry that card. And you want to know something? If AEW really knows how to play it right, Tony Khan, please, man, please put one of the girls as a co-main event at least. Don't put it as like one of the first matches or a middle of the match. Make it as a co-main event. I know they did that a little bit with Mercedes Moné, but you need to put, Mercedes Moné is on her level, but Tony Storm has earned that. Tony Storm has earned
And it's
Mariah May. And it's her, and there's nothing wrong with actually even making it a main event. Look how they did Rhea versus Nia Jax. Remember, I think that was in Rhea's hometown, and I think the main event, I think that was the last match. Those two girls going at it, and I think the pay-per-view ended, or I don't remember if it was a pay-per-view or it was it had to be a pay-per-view. Where Rhea Ripley had won, and everybody's like, okay, cool, she won, congratulations, and stuff like that. I don't see why they can't do that for Tony, because honestly, she's probably the biggest story right now in the women's division in AEW, in my opinion. And she's doing a really, really good job. Right? If I was WWE and I saw her contract was coming up, she would be getting a call from me, because I think if she came up with that idea, because I highly, highly doubt it's Tony Khan, I would honestly be giving her a call. She deserves it, man. She's doing a phenomenal job.
She does, but I just don't know if she would have the same freedoms she's got in AEW. I think AEW has allowed her to become
who she is,
what this is, what this angle has become because of the freedoms that they're given there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying WWE wouldn't have done it. It's just when you look at how complex to go from what she was as just Tony Storm, then to go into the timeless character, then to lose and get beat down and then forget who you are and come back as a rookie, and then to do your whole thing and then turn around. I just thought you didn't have to go 0 to 100 that quickly.
Again, the only reason I think it was okay is because I look at it as a movie, and that's
so now let me ask you this: since you've done it this way now,
yes,
what do you do for the next 3 weeks leading up to the pay-per-view?
Yeah, but remember, I told you I agree with you. They should have not done it so quickly. They should have just gone ahead and done it the night before the Dynamite.
I'm not saying they had to do it then, but you've got 3 weeks of you've got what, 2 Dynamites, and I guess there's not going to be a Collision because it's that Saturday. So I don't know if they're going to do a Friday Collision or whatever they do, but you got at least 2 Dynamites and one Collision that you got to fill TV time, and you can't have them fight each other.
No, but I mean, if I was Tony Storm, obviously you have to now bring Tony Storm as timeless Tony.
Well, I felt like AEW wanted a moment for the Jacksonville because they were home at Daly's place.
Yeah.
And on Collision, that was the only moment that you could get.
They should have done it at the end of the show. They should have not waited until the middle of the show. I thought that because after that, man, the show was kind of like, it was.
Yeah, that was kind of. It had its moments. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't a. I love the Hobbs and Big Bill thing. I love the Timeless Tony Storm thing. It just, again, it's.
I think that I will say this. Collision has gotten slightly better ever since they got rid of Rampage. I'm going to say that. I'll say that. I feel like they're putting a little bit more effort on the Collision after they shut down Rampage, in my opinion.
I think also what happens with Collision is when they're not live, you already know what's going to happen. And that hurts it.
Yeah.
When they record them the Thursday before and they don't play them till Saturday, it takes away from it. I mean, yeah, I watch it to see how everything plays out, but it's still not the same. Not the same at all, man.
No.
And until they go live on everything, in a way, it feels like it's not going to change, But again, we can agree to disagree. I think it was a great segment. Don't get me wrong, and I liked the way they executed it. I just thought maybe they could have waited to space it out to be better timing, so that they're going into pay-per-view hot.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you've got 2 weeks to cool it down before you can even get to the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
that's my worry. That's my main thing on there. And speaking of cooling down, I want Big Bill to get a singles push.
I think we all want Big Bill to
from here on out. I do not want Big Bill. I want Big Bill either to turn on the learning tree or get kicked out of the learning tree or whatever it's going to be.
What he did with Hobbs was impressive. It was another big moment in that collision that really, really, the crowd was bought in. And I think here's the thing about Big Bill. Big Bill I felt that the moment he could handle himself as a singles was the day that he was wrestling, that they were wrestling over there in Europe, and it was Big Bill versus Hook. And the crowd was cheering for Big Bill. From there on out, I said, yo, they need to make him single and they need to push him, because that means that guy has the potential of finally be a big guy that you could actually sell. And maybe you could treat him better than what you ever treated Wardlow. I don't even know where the hell Wardlow is.
Wardlow's not coming back, I'm told. At least, I'm sorry, I read that Wardlow would not be returning.
Damn.
I don't know what the situation is. I don't know what happened.
So bad, bro.
But, again, I watched Big Bill. I've watched him since he was doing SAFT, whatever, SAWFT, soft, all that stuff while I was in WWE with Enzo and all this stuff all the way up to now. And look, I like him in the learning tree, but I don't think he's getting anything else out of it. At this point, it's like he's just the big guy that stands there to protect Jericho. Go out and eliminate my guys. Why am I going to? And then when I don't, that's why I did like the fact when Jericho said it was Bill's fault, because I feel like they're aiming toward, after so many times it's Big Bill's fault, Bill's going to get kicked out, and then it's going to be Bill and Jericho. And then give Big Bill the Ring of Honor Championship. Good God. Please.
Well, here's the thing about Big Bill, man. It's impressive how he blew up with Ricky Stark when they were tag team partners. Yeah. And then something happened with Ricky Stark, which coincidentally, Ricky Stark made his indie appearance for the first time.
Last night, or Saturday, sorry.
And then now you see Big Bill kind of recover his character and his ability to show that, hey, I don't need Ricky Stark. It wasn't just Ricky who made that tag team. It was me as well. And they fit him in with the learning tree. Do I like him in the learning tree? I do like him in the learning tree. I don't want him to leave, but I also understand your point where I don't feel him staying in the learning tree will ever get him a title shot, because Jericho's the leader. It's like saying, hey, Solo is going to get a title shot before Roman, even though they were in the bloodline together. That was never going to happen. So I do feel in order for him to get a push, he needs to leave the learning tree. It's going to suck, because I really do feel that if he does leave the learning tree is going to suck. Even like they're going to suck. Like, I mean, I like the rotten apple, but it's so bad for him.
I said it all the time, and no doubt's kind of leaning toward that way, is Jericho should be an attraction. Big Bill and the Rotten Apple should be the guys wrestling. If Brian Keith is injured, then Big Bill should be the guy out there. Like Jericho should be an attraction, and he even put in as a manager.
Chop fest matches. Yeah.
I just don't think it's just, look, man, I don't want to speak bad about Jericho, because I think he could still go. He can still hold his own, and he's still a draw. and he can still perform inside the ring. I don't have that against him, but I don't need to see it every week. I don't need to see him as a champion in a division of a company you bought saying you were going to make it your developmental type. And then now you put it on him saying, oh, we're going to get ROH on TV. Where's the ROH on TV at?
Yeah. When I look back at Chris Jericho.
Give Big Bill his push.
When I look back at Chris Jericho, I always felt that there was two things that really affected him where people were like, yo, I'm done with Jericho. Number one, he changed his song. He went from that song that everybody used to sing like crazy. That was a gimmick that everybody loved. The Judas Effect and all that stuff, that sold him like there was no tomorrow. I thought that hurt him when he changed to the Nueve. And then the other thing that I think hurt him a lot was when that controversy came out, that whole thing about him possibly, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but something about him raping somebody or something like that. People started booing.
I didn't hear about that. I don't know.
Was it? Remember, there was a point in time when they were booing him, and it was like, "Hey, it was hush hush. Nobody wanted to talk about it and stuff like that." Remember, we spoke about it on the show. I don't remember. I don't remember it was rape. It might have been like him making them sign NDAs or something for having like sexual relationships with somebody or something like that. It had to do something like that because I remember that's when people were like, they started booing Jericho, and I was like, this is not good. And I don't think he's ever recovered after that. He struggled after that. I think that's when Jericho started to kind of fall behind. In my opinion, those two particular instances, when he changed his song from the Judas Effect and when he went ahead and there was that rumor of him, I think it was that he was making people sign NDAs and he was having like something similar to like Vince, but not to that extreme.
Oh, it looks like I just looked up real quick to see Jericho rumors. And it looks like Tony Khan at one point was directly asked about whether or not Jericho had ever been investigated by the company for sexual harassment.
You see, that's what it was.
Khan did not give a yes or no answer.
I remember speaking about it. After that, I remember because I think he was in a pay-per-view and people were booing him. And then I remember speaking about it in the show, and I said, dude, it's not good. And people started turning on him. And after that, it just hasn't been the same for Jericho. He's kind of, the learning tree helped him a little bit, but now people are.
Oh, yeah, it says Jericho was booed by fans during his appearance on the show due to online reports and social media posts in recent days attributing actions by him behind the scenes of the departure of one-time AEW wrestler Kylie Ray.
There you go.
2019.
See, I'm old, and I'll be the first one to raise my hand and say that I have horrible memory. But I remember.
Maybe I blocked it out because I can care less about Jericho, honestly. I've told you since then he only needs to be an attraction. He does not need to be.
I remember that.
He does not need to be on my TV every goddamn week. I like him. You know what makes him, to me, I like it? The New York Minute segment. When he's just up there talking, that's Jericho. Let him do that shit. And the little tie and the jacket and all that shit. Do that. I don't need to see you out there wrestling.
But why do you feel that way now? Because when he was the Judas Effect and he was doing all that stuff, when he had his whole group,
saying it for like 2 or 3 years, he doesn't need to wrestle anymore.
No, but when he had that group, people were sold on that group, bro. When he had Sammy Guevara and all those guys on there.
But how much was he? He was usually doing 6-mans. He was doing tag teams. It wasn't Jericho wrestling by himself.
No, it wasn't him, right? Well, there was some. He fought against Orange Cassidy in the Orange.
That was at the beginning of AEW.
Yes. Well, not that much at the beginning. I mean, it was
maybe it was near the beginning because it was during the COVID time because there was nobody in the building.
True.
There was orange juice everywhere.
There was orange juice. There was orange juice on that one. But he fought a couple of singles. But I remember he used to do with Sammy Guevara when they what were they called before them to the damn it, they had a name for themselves. I forgot the name for themselves. I gotta look it up. Sammy and Jericho nickname. I forgot what their nicknames were. The Spanish, the Inner Circle was the name of their group, and the Spanish Gods. the Spanish gods.
Yeah, tag
So,
team.
so he was Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho, known as Le Champion.
Yeah, let Jericho go in, get his couple moves in, hit his little bounce off the rope moonsault, go Y2J on your ass for a couple seconds, then tag Sammy in to wrestle.
And look how
I
bad
can handle that. I just can't handle 35 minutes of Chris Jericho huffing and puffing on my TV.
The other thing is, look how bad Sammy has kind of downfall. Like, I don't know what
It's
happened.
not Sammy downfall, man. I'm telling you. If you look at everybody that was high and then watch how they've fallen, what's the one common denominator?
This guy, the guy who's kind of climbing Mount Everest. He's the only good. He's the only one
with a tattoo on his neck that's going to main event WrestleMania.
Oh, Cody, but
They're
but
Cody's boys or girls. That's what it is.
I mean, he started
Let's
taking.
make him happy. Let's give him the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, but here's another thing. With Sammy, it's different because with Sammy, once his wife, Tay Conti, got pregnant, from there on out, he kind of started falling off. Because I honestly, even though Sammy is a Cody guy, I still felt that Tony Khan really liked Sammy. Like he would always try to push him, and remember there was a point in time when Sammy would go ahead and be like, "Yo, I want to be, I want the opportunity." Remember when they had the four guys and all that stuff in there? I forgot the name of that, but
the Pillars.
The Pillars. There you go. So like all that stuff. Like I feel like
let's look at the Pillars, okay?
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy got pushed.
Yes.
Darby Allin got pushed until hopefully nobody pushes him off Mount Everest.
Correct. Darby
right?
Allin. Yeah.
The other Jack Perry got pushed, right? He went to the Elite. He's done his stuff. He's the only
where is he at right now?
He's the only one that got to lay hands on Tony Khan.
And on CM Punk.
Well, CM Punk laying hands on him too. That point.
Yeah.
The only one that has not advanced from that's gone backwards is Sammy Guevara.
Damn, that sucks, bro. Because he's good, man. He's really talented. The guy is talented. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man.
And again, I don't know the back behind the scenes. I don't know everybody. If you look at the stuff, people that were like Cody's guys, Ricky Starks, it's Sammy Guevara. Think of the guys that are no longer there. I'm sure half of them, all of the Dark Order guys used to be on the Elite podcast with Cody and all them. None of them are seen anymore.
No.
They're all Ring of Honor. If they're on anything TV, they're on Ring of Honor.
Was Eddie Kingston a Cody guy too?
No, I don't think he was. Eddie's guy.
Yeah, what happened to Eddie? I haven't seen Eddie in a minute.
Remember he blew out his knee in Japan. He's trying to get back.
Oh, okay. But I thought he blew his knee a couple of months ago, though.
No, it's been almost a year now.
Yeah, it's been a while, right?
Bad. It was bad, man. He did a number on that. All right, let's go on to the next thing. All-in ticket sales.
Hold on, before you continue, Finn Sammy does have a point. Didn't Sammy Guevara get someone really hurt, and he has not wrestled on AEW since? He has in Ring of Honor, but not AEW.
He's wrestled Ring of Honor. He's not in AEW.
He injured, wasn't it? One of the Hardy brothers. I think it was one of the Hardy brothers that he did.
Well, that was a match. I think when Matt got a concussion and they kept going.
Yeah, and he blamed Sammy Guevara for being.
Oh, they both blame. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Again, that's why when you just don't leave your feet, man. Because once you leave your feet, you can't control anything.
That's true.
You have to hope that guy's there. And then you have to hope that when you hit this guy, depending on how long the match has been going and how sweaty he is, that you hit and you fall right. Because I've seen people hit and slide off and then go right on the back of their neck.
You know what? I know we're in the AEW segment, but that's one thing that Penta has to be very careful. Yes. Because there's been a couple times that Penta has gone ahead and gone over the ropes, and the guy's it just hits him right on the shoulder. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, he's about to miss him. And I think they're doing it on purpose because they don't want his whole body to land him, so they just want a piece.
He can't, because if he does, they're gonna get concussion, man.
Yeah, they're gonna get hurt.
Your head's gonna get jammed down. You're gonna have a guy 200 pounds coming down on your face.
Well, look at Dakota Kai. How she
Yeah.
got hurt.
Yeah, well, that drop kick was brutal, and it was right in her face. I mean,
No, and if you look at some of the matches that I've been seeing, like for example, with obviously the JD McDonough we spoke about earlier, but like when you see who was it? I think it was Bailey who when Bailey fought against Nia Jax or something like that. You start looking at some of these matches. You start look, or it was Bailey against Tiffany Stratton. I don't remember which one, but you start noticing when they start banging their heads against the ring, like bro, like dude, I don't know how these girls and guys don't get concussions every single time because, like you said, it's brutal, bro. It's bad.
yeah, and then now too, it's a lot worse because a lot of the action now is right in your face. The camera's in your face. You know, back in the day, like the camera might be on the right side, so if you're throwing them into the table on the left, you can throw you know, put your hand, you know, and make it look like. Now you're almost having to give up your body at some point and hope that one, they're not running you in at 150 miles an hour, and two, that it's tough, man. It's a different. It has changed with all of these new camera angles and things, which I think is cool as a fan, but I can only imagine what's going on inside the ring because you can't get away with a lot of the stuff that was hidden before because there's so many cameras now.
Well,
And everybody in the arena has a camera. So now you can't get away with what you could get away with before.
there was a matchup. I don't remember who it was, but it was Tiffany Stratton against somebody. I think it was like 2 weeks ago on SmackDown or something like that, or 3 weeks ago, right before she. I think it was her first defense. Yeah, it was her first
That was
defense.
Bailey then, her
It
and
was
Bailey.
Bailey. And I noticed something, and again, I don't want to go into too much detail because and I'll tell you why. But if you notice, that was the first match I actually, or it's been a match that I saw Tiffany Stratton wrestle with like stockings on her legs. So there was a camera angle that Bailey went and pinned her and lifted up her leg, and you could see something. Again, I don't want to be graphic, in between her legs. So but you wouldn't get that on a regular like
Hard camera.
hard camera, but you got it from that angle. And then I went ahead and I was like, "What did?" And I don't know if anybody noticed it, but I noticed it. I was like, "What? What?" And and you could see that the camera immediately, my bad, immediately changed, and then they went to a different angle. So again, those are just like what you said. With those all those angles, it's just really hard to be discreet now with anything, you know. So, but yeah, so it's just crazy.
Yeah, and then also the producers now are not necessarily wrestling. You know, they're more like the guy now in WWE is Avengers ESPN, you know. So they're used to getting those close visuals, you know, the glove, the ball hitting the receiver's hands and then them taking the hit. Those are good shots, but the thing is those guys are trying to take each other out.
Yeah.
You're putting on a show, and when you do those type of shots, you have to really trust the guy that's giving those shots, you know. And it's one of those things. Paige got injured bad when she got injured bad. Yep.
By Sasha Banks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look around Big E. Big E got dropped on his head by Ridge Holland.
Yeah.
I mean, things happen. I mean, I was watching a GCW event last weekend. Allie Katch did a dive outside, and her foot got caught on the padding and broke her leg in two places. 2 minutes into the match. 2 minutes into the match. Done. When you leave your feet, you're relying on a lot more than just yourself.
Well, remember Dante Martin when he did that flip and he broke his ankle too? That was pretty bad too. That was nasty.
I mean, you can only control what you control when you're not flying in the air.
Yeah.
When you wrestle. I mean, think about back to the days when it was Eminem, Mercury and Morris against the Hardys in a ladder match.
Oof.
If you've never seen that one, go check that out. It was John Morrison and what was it? Mercury. Joey Mercury. He doesn't get his hand up in time to stop the ladder. They did a thing where Jeff went off the end of the ladder and it flung up the one hitting them in the face.
Yeah, he started
Joey
bleeding really bad,
Mercury
right?
did not get his face up, and it basically ripped his nose off almost.
Yeah.
And I mean, those things happen, man. And that was nobody in the air. That was just them. And now you add in tables and ladders and chairs, and dude, it's a recipe, man. That's why those matches back in the day were an attraction and not happening every day.
Yep.
So, yeah, CCW still running here in South Florida. And then there's Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, which this Thursday, did you see that card?
No.
Oh my God. Hold on a minute.
Boca Raton Wrestling?
Yeah, BRCW. And
what is it?
Championship Wrestling now is all over the state. Sorry, I'm trying to get it right now. Hold on. Sorry. It is January 30th, which is Thursday. The High Seas Rumble. All right. Then it is for the Heavyweight Championship. Noah Kenda versus Kerry Morton with Ricky Morton, his dad, in the corner. The BRCW Tag Team Championship, Matt Riddle and Stallion Rogers versus The Righteous. The BRCW Women's Championship, Ash by Elegance takes on MJ Jenkins. Monster Fulton takes on Frankie Kazarian. AJ Francis takes on Jack Tolos. Ruthie J takes on Mila Moore. Bull James, Steven Pearson. Cheeseburger takes on the Eskimo Foe. Also appearing, Lloyd Anoa'i, Bull Nakano, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Matt Reinhold, and Ricardo Rodriguez, who is better known as Alberto Del Rio's ring announcer.
Oh, nice.
That is happening Thursday in Miami at the Pullman Hotel in Miami, Florida.
That's this Thursday?
Yeah.
I might go to that. It's at 5:00, right? Yeah, I have it.
It says Cruising for a Bruising 3. You know, they don't have a time on here.
Well,
no, right here. 6:30. Doors open at 6. All ages. Cruising for a Bruising 3.
That's not bad. Is it this? Hold on, let me see. Can I share this with you? Is it this? Is it that, Sean?
I can't see. I think it is. Hold on. I won't be able to see until I add it to the screen.
I think it's that, no?
No, that's October 20th, 2024.
Oh, this is an old one. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's not it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Cruising for a Bruising, Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, Pullman Hotel, Miami, Florida, January 30th, 2025. And of course, go to ccwalive.tv for Coastal Championship Wrestling and check them out. They've got shows at a couple different breweries in Miami. Then they got a show in Fort Pierce or Port St. Lucie, and then Tampa and Kissimmee. So they're all throughout the state as well. If you're anywhere in those areas, the all-in ticket sales was the one thing I wanted to talk about next. And I'm sorry, I was looking at that and I shut down the thing I needed.
Well, while you're looking at that, the all-in tickets suck. So what's happening with the all-in tickets is that because they're sucking so bad, they're having a problem with they're giving out a special in order for them to sell their all-in tickets, which is kind of sad. And it also shows that there's a very, very good chance that they might struggle to sell that Texas card in when they have the main Texas event happening. But this is back in Texas would be so yeah. So there's a report saying Chris Jericho claims AEW's All in Texas will be huge despite the slow early sales, and I think that's what's going on. And they're also having issues with the tickets of Grand Slam in Australia. So that's what I saw. So it wasn't all in.
Australia's they're giving away like 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Buy
So
one get one free or
So,
something.
so what they're doing is like they said it says AEW's initial plan to pack a 52,000 seat stadium fell apart, forcing them to relocate to a 13,500. So they went from 52 to 13,500 in Australia, and they were struggling with sales. So what they're doing now is that they're giving prices 2-for-1 deal after struggling sales. So they're doing, what are they doing? Moving the event. They moved the event, and then here's the thing. Okay, on Saturday they're offering a buy one get one free deal. Damn, that's so bad. And it's true. We're like 3 weeks out, and they're going that desperate. Sean, this is bad, right? This is bad for AEW.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, look, the AEW All In, the reason I brought it up was the first day they went on sale, they sold 8,000 tickets distributed.
And how many seats is it for that?
It's an 18,140 seat setup. But since those tickets went on sale, which was December, well, some pre-sale went on sale the early December, but they went to the public on December 22nd. And on that day, at the time, 9,990 seats were distributed at the Globe Life Field. Now, springboard here about a month and 6 days later, they've sold 2,000 more. They're up to 11,073.
Well, here's what Jericho said. They said there are people saying, well, they only sold 10,000 tickets. Yeah, it's 7 months away. We're going to have 25,000 people in that place. People buy tickets during the last week nowadays. Trust me, I know from Fozzy. He explained. I don't know.
I mean, the ticket is July 12th, but if they get 25,000 in, they're going to have to open up seats because right now they only have it set up for 18-1.
It says that's nothing but so it says Jericho has also stressed that AEW's new deal with Warner Bros. Discovery is proof that the company is thriving. It says that's nothing but pure success and pure profit. I know he has to be positive about it, but there might be some naysayers that may want to predict the doom of AEW because of the smaller buildings, but it's a smart business. I get it. Like going to a smaller venue makes sense, but if you can't
the way
even
of wrestling has changed now because it's about the TV deals. It's about how much money you get on the TV deals. But again, when you look at that roster and you're getting, I think they get $185 million a year, they're still not getting, I got to believe that roster now, again, not saying that it's, but Jericho's probably making good pay. Monet's making good pay. Ospreay's making good pay. Kenny Omega's probably making good pay. You got guys there that you're, giving out deals to. I don't know how far the money stretches of the TV deal. And at no point am I thinking AEW's gone. That's not going to happen. One, Tony Khan has too much money.
Yeah, but
and two, they got the money from the TV deal. And that's where business has changed. Business used to be you made your profits in the house shows and merchandise. That's changed now. WWE is not doing a house show until after March, I think almost after WrestleMania. They won't have a house show until after WrestleMania. Why? Because they just signed $500 million a year from Netflix. They're getting $200 million a year from USA or whatever for SmackDown. And NXT, right now, CW got a deal at $25 million because with the ratings they're getting now, they're going to be able to probably get $150 to $200 million for NXT.
All right, let me ask you something. And you might know more than I do on this particular topic, but when do you think these television companies or these, streaming services will go ahead and say, hey, we're not getting the viewership that we want. We're going to pull the plug.
They can't. They're in a contract.
No, I'm saying.
Plug, but they're going to owe the money. So then what? WWE just finds somebody else to pay them more, and they still get the money from Netflix.
Well, I'm not talking about
Don't you
I'm
wonder
not talking about WWE. I'm talking about AEW because the way it
No, but
looks.
WBD is happy with their things because they're in the top 5 and 10 on the night they're on.
Yeah, but dude, like
So
I'm looking at numbers right now
no,
for
the numbers aren't good, but that's what I'm saying. TV has changed. They don't care. They just want you in the top 5 to 10 on that night and a certain demo. Why? Because they can sell commercials to that demo. And that's where the network makes the money. It has nothing to do anymore. Ratings are ratings.
I mean, Collision went
Collision
from
got 225,000 views.
well, I have here 250, but
Oh, what's 250? Whatever it was. 255.
the week before they were at 342, so they lost over 100,000 views.
They haven't been above 350 in like months, I don't think, if you go back to Collision. I told you, when college football starts, that show's going to fall off the face of the earth.
But look, Josh says, "Hey, AEW is thinking just like the Dolphins." But again, like
It's a different world. They don't care about ratings anymore, though, bro. They don't. The networks say, okay, where are you at? Okay, NBA beat you. Okay. Who else beat you? Nobody else beat you? You're fine. We don't care.
Damn. That's how much money these streaming services are making? That they could just dish out money left and right, even if the people are not.
Let me ask you something. If you made an app and you charge $9.99 and you have over 3 million people subscribe,
they're banking.
There you go.
They're banking. Dude.
And it's what is it? When it rolls over or whatever the hell, concurring charges or whatever, recurring charges.
Recurring charges. So you don't even have to do anything. You just sit there and just watch the money hit on the first of every month or whenever it is. Damn.
3 million subscriptions come in. Boop, boop, boop.
Jeez.
And then Netflix was happy with WWE because the international market went up because now they needed it and they could watch Raw live. They didn't have to worry about it anymore. Because a lot of people were getting Raw pre-recorded or whatever and played on another day. They weren't necessarily getting everything, live and everything. So, but again, when you're not selling, though, that just shows that they're not invested in anything. They're not invested in you right now. If you're not selling out or at least close to it, then they're just not invested in your product right now. I mean, let's see. Let me go back here. Let's see what we got.
I mean, look, Australia's even having a hard time. And when do they have like AEW shows? I think this is the first AEW show over there. I know they had the WWE show, but I'm just curious as to when does a company or an owner who owns a wrestling company says it's time to pull the plug? Because if you're giving away tickets, if your arena looks empty as hell,
no, they don't. They slide it over to the hard camera side, and you don't see the sweeping shots of the arena.
I get that, but dude, it's bad. Like if you're trying to sell 20,000 tickets or 18,000 tickets, and you only sold, you did not even. Well, let's say half.
It's not even It's 18,000 tickets for a prime show, but that just shows you, though, when you look at what they're doing, is this. Think about this, okay? February 15th is the show. All right? Up until last week, they had no matches booked for it. Nothing going toward it. You kind of figured, okay, we're going to have Toni Storm. She was over there doing media, this and that, and you figured it was going to be Mariah May. But there's nothing concrete. Sure. Now they put 2 matches. It's Will Ospreay coming home, Kyle Fletcher coming home, Kenny Omega. It's Toni Storm coming home. It's Mariah May coming home. Those are the matches they announced, hoping that I think that it would move something. And it hasn't. Because they're not invested in your product, man. WWE tickets go on sale, and they don't sell out. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, but they get at least half of the building almost on the pre-sale or the sale. They don't sell out. I mean, maybe WrestleMania, which is, again, the world kind of comes here as a vacation, which is different. But for your other pay-per-views, they don't necessarily sell out, but they probably get about half to 3/4 of the building sold before the normal world gets a hold of them. And that's not happening here. And again, I don't think that Tony Khan will ever say. And then the one thing that I did find interesting, Fightful said that Tony Khan this week is getting back in the weeds with the team, with the creative team. So has he not been booking these shows? Because to me, they've been better lately. So if he wasn't involved, maybe we keep him out.
Yeah, but you're not getting it from for you and me, the shows have gotten better, but for the viewing public, nobody's buying into these shows.
Yeah, because you don't give people a chance to, you're too busy putting on great matches for people to understand what the characters are. And then when you try to tell the characters what they are, you got Ricochet stabbing a guy in the head with scissors. Yeah. And then the guy comes out with a chain.
Sorry.
And then he holds scissors to Nana's neck and says, tell Swerve this might be his house, but there's a new landlord and rent's due. Like, okay, I get it. You don't want to be WWE. But again, I say it because this is the one thing that was kind of drilled in my head. And you've been to a lot of independent shows down here, Frankie, and you've seen it firsthand. If you get the kids to want to keep coming back, they're bringing back mom, they're bringing back dad, they're bringing back sister, they're bringing back aunt, they're bringing back uncle. The next thing you know, you got 5 or 6 family members there that have paid. They're probably getting souvenirs because they want to make little Bobby happy. So now you're selling more and you're bringing more people in. But when you're ECW and all that, people aren't bringing their kids to watch people get burned and ripped up and shredded and bleeding in the first 2 minutes of a match.
Yeah, man.
I'm not saying you got to go PG, but you've got to find a happy medium to where you can get some kids interested in your product to where they bring. Because, again, WWE wasn't doing well, and then WCW did what? They went risque. And WWE said, you know what, we'll go risque too. And they went more risque. And it allowed them to survive that era. But then the problem started being is the kids that were watching, or the teens that were watching, started having kids. And those teens were like, I don't want my kid watching that. And then that's when the PG era started. And that's when Cena became a superhero. And then the rest.
Gotta blame those kids, goddammit, for Cena. God damn it, you kids.
And then the rest is just, I mean, it's about getting people to invest in your character and your wrestlers. You've got guys that can do it organically. MJF gets a reaction no matter what. Will Ospreay can get a reaction. You know, the Hurt Syndicate has been getting great reaction. So you have those guys. But then you've got MJF who gets a great reaction, and you saddle him with this, whatever the Jeff Jarrett story is.
That's terrible.
I don't know what that story is leading to, but you're wasting MJF. Then you kind of took him out of that, and then he had the thing with Hangman. So, like, I don't understand what, you know, again, you want to sell tickets, you got to start appealing to the people that are going to make people buy. Because if I'm a family, I'm not paying for somebody to watch my kids while I go to a wrestling show because I don't want them to watch.
Well,
if I don't have grandma and grandpa in town to drop them off at, then I'm not going to go.
I'll tell you this. When I went to World's End in Orlando, I could probably count with my hand how many kids I saw there. There really wasn't any. It was all, I mean.
Especially a pay-per-view. I wouldn't take a kid to, not their pay-per-views, no.
No, you can't. Because even if you see the blood that comes out of WWE nowadays, it's internal blood. It's not even that gruesome like some of the other ones in AEW. And then of course the extreme where you're putting bags over people's heads and stabbing people with knives. I mean with scissors, and it's it's not for kids.
Darby Allin tried to run over after that one pay-per-view. He tried to run them down in the parking lot.
No, you remember when he slammed and his back had just bursted in that glass and all his back started to just bleed like crazy? And we were like, oh my God, what happened? Is he alive? Is he alive? Dude, imagine a kid seeing that at such an early age. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, and the thing with Max was kind of the same thing. I mean, just about getting the investment. The numbers apparently are pretty good on Max. I don't know how they're really saying that. And here we go with the broadcasting ending again. So we'll see if we still have people on or not.
We're going Raw, baby. We're going SmackDown hour.
Yeah, we've gone Raw. We're 3 hours right now. Yeah. So, but the Max thing is just, I mean, again, they are getting out to a more broader audience, but obviously it's not paying off with ticket sales.
No.
Because now you have Max, you're worldwide, but it's not showing on your ticket sales. That to me is a problem. At no point am I saying, AEW is going out of business, Tony Khan shutting them down or anything like that. No, that's not the situation. The situation is you have to figure out a way as an owner, as a creative team, and as a company to get people to invest into your product. Because if you don't, then you're just going to keep being what you're being. And you have a group of developmental talent that people are more invested in than you.
Think about it. You're getting, and no disrespect to the NXT world, but you got Lola Vice, you got Eddie Thorpe, you got, and these are good wrestlers. I'm not saying that they're bad wrestlers. Obafemi, Trick Williams, Ethan Page, Sean Spears, Roxanne Perez, beating the likes of talented people like Will Ospreay, Okada, Mercedes Moné. Think about it, and it's not because of the in-ring talent. It's because the way you sell these characters and these wrestlers. It's just they got to do something, man, because you're not gonna gain anything, and it's just. Look, I saw a report. I forgot his name. He's in TNA. What the hell's his name? That he looks like man, he looks like a dark guy. Hold on, let me show you a picture of him. PCO? PCO, is that how you say his name?
Oh, PCO, yeah. That's Pierre Carl Alwet.
Yeah, there's reports that he turned down multiple offers from AEW.
Yeah, he was from the Mounties. If you remember him back in the day. He was one of the Mounties in WWE back in the day.
Yeah.
Now he's like 60 years old still doing this.
Yeah.
And he's the one that took the TNA Digital Championship on GCW and took a sledgehammer to it. That's how he left TNA.
It's crazy. I saw him a couple times in TNA. I wasn't a big fan of him.
He's one of those guys that he's the monster. Right? He just doesn't get beat. He just keeps coming and coming. And
yeah, I remember in TNA he was like getting married or something like that.
Well, Steph DeLander, that was part of the storyline. Because Steph DeLander was going to turn on him.
Yes.
And her husband, Mance Warner, who lost the GCW title, was going to go to TNA after that pay-per-view that he destroyed the title on and win the title.
Yeah, I'm not too invested like you are. That's that's why you definitely supersede me when it comes to wrestling. But I tune in here and there. That's why I remember that. I was like, yo, what is this guy getting married and stuff? And they came and they ruined his wedding. And I think Matt Cardona came out as well.
Cardona, which was Steph DeLander's. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's just crazy, dude. It's just like I try to keep up with everything, but I'm just, dude, too much work.
There's too much, man. There's too much.
Too much wrestling.
Dude, IWTV, Triller TV, you watch those.
It's a lot.
You watch all these independents and you can get a good idea. Somebody said that's a trash shirt, by the way.
He's talking about your shirt.
Why are you ranking on my Stanley Media House?
I don't know. Maybe we should ban him. I don't know why you're taking shots at Sean, Memo. I have no idea why you're
I
taking
think he's
shots at
taking
Memo.
a shot at that CM crap shirt.
All right.
All right, Frankie Fresco. Let them know where they can see you and catch you.
All right, so you guys are more than welcome to follow me at Frankie Fresco. That is on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm Fresco Music. If you want to find me, just search FREZKO and you'll find me, because not too many people spell it like that. A lot of people like calling me Fresco. God damn it, it's Fresco. So just look up Fresco and you'll see me. Either I'm Frankie Fresco or I'm Fresco Music. And of course, the reason I go by that name because that's my DJ name. So hit me up on all social media platforms. Don't forget to hit that like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. Guys over there in X, I saw the numbers over there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys in YouTube, Jesus, you guys are tuning in. I saw the numbers keep going up and down, but hey, dude, like we really do appreciate you guys
100%.
following. We've been going at it for 3 hours and you guys are still here. So you guys are amazing. Like we really do appreciate it. We talk wrestling. We want to talk more wrestling with you guys and we want to share it. So please don't forget to share with your friends, your family, with your kids. If you bring kids onto the show to watch us, please remember. Yes, I know. Answer your DMs, Frankie. Don't send
You
me.
still haven't answered Sammy's DMs.
Send me on Instagram. I suck at X. I'm just letting you guys know.
God,
I suck at X and TikTok. I'm being honest with you. If you want to get a hold of me on Instagram. That's how I do it. But
Is that because you can't read and you need pictures?
no, it's because I'm more on Instagram. You know, I have
pictures. You don't want to read words.
I have a lot more followers on Instagram than on X, so I kind of side more on the IG side. But again, guys, forget about Sean diverting me here. Thank you again. It's been fun. We love this, and we're gonna keep doing it. And if you guys help us grow in numbers, I promise you, we could expand even more to the point where we could do shows on the road, giveaways. I'm willing to do whatever. You guys want to see a brand new CM Punk shirt like Memo? Just let me know.
What, they can get officially worn merchandise from Frankie Fresco?
No. I didn't say this particular shirt. I said a CM Punk shirt. Okay, I caught myself. I caught myself before you said. Actually, if they want a Frankie Fresco signed CM Punk shirt, absolutely, I'll sign it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There's
Frankie Fresco or DJ Fresco?
I'll sign it all different ways. You want me to sign it at CM Punk? I'll sign it at CM Punk as well. So it's all good, bro.
Oh, goodness gracious. You can catch me at Stanley Media House on YouTube and Facebook. Make sure you join on the Facebook page. Hit that subscribe button. Share it. Please let everybody know we are here. We appreciate everybody that's been in with us. Stanley_Media 11 on X. And you can catch me on Twitch as well. For these shows, I don't do any gaming or anything, so all you're going to get is this. In the words, actually, no, I'm sorry. Let's go through. Josh, appreciate you. Sammy, appreciate you. Memo, appreciate you. Cheyenne, appreciate you. No Doubt was in today. Terry was in today. I was in today. Sean was in today a lot. Goodness gracious. Karoon was in today.
Well, if you actually look at the stream on YouTube, it only populates once.
Oh wow, good deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
And then
that's how I know that I got kicked out when you do
Chad was in as well. Sneak Attack 305 was in. Steven Gonzalez got us started. And appreciate you, Dad, as always. Everybody tuning in. You're watching us on X, Twitch, Frankie Fresco YouTube channel, Stanley Media House YouTube channel, or Stanley Media House Facebook. I just want to say, in the words of the great Gordon Soley, so long from the sun, shine, state.